Stanley Cup Final. The Knights play their last game at T-Mobile Arena of the season. We know that for sure. They face elimination today. The Hurricanes can win the Stanley Cup, but a Knights victory forces a Game 7 in Raleigh, North Carolina in a few days. Scary. The Knights have an interesting situation. They've never gone this far in a Stanley Cup Final. 2018, they lost it in Game 5. 2023, they won it in Game 5. They will play their first ever Stanley Cup Final Game 6 today.
30 other teams in the National Hockey League would trade places with the Golden Knights to be in this situation. Yes, it is. The consequences are staggering. But this is an opportunity. This is a chance to go out, play your best for 60 minutes, try and get a win, and put the pressure on Carolina, put this whole caravan, the TV networks, the radio broadcasters, the writers, the players, the coaches, the National Hockey League, put them all on planes and send them back to Raleigh for a Game 7 on Wednesday night. I don't know if there's a song, but you got to get to Raleigh you got to go through Raleigh to get to heaven, Dan.
The Golden Knights do have multiple changes to the lineup today. William Karlsson ruled out. He was injured early in Game 5, did not return, ruled out here for Game 6. And Gary, because of that, somebody had to go in, but there are more changes than just that.
Riley Smith goes in the spot for William Karlsson. Won't play in his spot, but that's the replacement there. Farther down in the lineup, John Tortorella has inserted Braden Bowman for Keegan Colasar. And on the third pairing, Dylan Coghlan, who has done yeoman's work to get the Golden Knights into this spot, he's out. And the more mobile Caden Korzak is in. The lines will go as follows, Dan. Dorofeev, Eichel, Stone, left to right. Then you're going to have Barbashev, Howden, and Marner as your second line. Hurdle, Sissons, and then Smith will go in the right side on the third line. Cole Smith, Nick Dowd, and the rookie Braden Bowman on the right side of the fourth line.
Braden Bowman becomes the very first Golden Knight to make his playoff debut in the Stanley Cup Final. Caden Korzak, who has played 13 playoff games in his career, gets his first Stanley Cup Final appearance today. Riley Smith has excellent numbers in his Stanley Cup Final career in 2018 and 2023 combined.
And Riley scored 16 goals this year in the regular season. The biggest change in this series, the biggest maneuver, was foisted on Rod Brind'Amour when Freddie Anderson became unable to play. We don't know why. There are theories about fatigue, an emotional situation. His agent, Claude Lemieux, passed away just prior to the series starting. But that forced Brandon Bussey to go in for the Hurricanes, and he has been the show in the last two games. He's been the story for Carolina. Now, the injury to William Karlsson puts John Tortorella in a spot, and I don't think he would have made changes if it wasn't for that injury. But when that injury happens, he's forced to look at his lineup globally as a whole and says, we got depth, we're going to use it. Smith goes in, Bowman goes in, Korzak goes in. Vegas will be fresher. They'll have three players that are very hungry to make an imprint on this series. They'll have an original misfit in Riley Smith. And they'll have a guy in Braden Bowman who lost his job, lost his spot, not his job, lost his spot as a result of the salary cap when Carter Hart was activated and then never got a chance to get back in. Well, here he is. Game 6, Stanley Cup Final. He's got a chance to make up for lost time.
Braden Bowman has not seen Golden Knights action in the last 33 games. He last played for the Golden Knights all the way back on March 21st, Game 70 in Nashville. That's 85 days ago, 8 days before the Golden Knights made their coaching change. In other words, Bowman has never played a game under John Tortorella. He went to the American League and had a dynamite finish, had 5 goals and 9 assists in 8 regular season games, 14 points in 8 regular season games down the stretch, and then added another 4 points in 6 playoff games. So Bowman in the American Hockey League was great after he was sent down, but has not played either in the NHL or the AHL in over a month. May 9th with Henderson was his last game action. Caden Korzak last played for the Golden Knights in the end of the conference final. Riley Smith played in all of the games in the first round against the Utah Mammoth. Ironic in that Riley Smith was taken out of the lineup when William Karlsson got healthy for the first time since November, and now with Karlsson injured again, it's Riley Smith who goes back in. When we come back, we'll hear from John Tortorella, talk about Game 5. Another multi-goal win for the Hurricanes, and the Knights were limited to just 2 goals. 4-2 is the final in Raleigh in Game 5. Game 6 on tap. Knights must win to keep their season alive and force a Game 7 Wednesday in North Carolina. We'll be back in a moment, presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Calling all Vegas Golden Knights fans, hockey season is back, and the RTC Game Day Express is your hassle-free ride to victory. Catch a direct, fast ride to VGK home games at T-Mobile Arena from 6 convenient spots for just $4 round trip. No traffic stress. Leave the driving to us. Visit rtcsnv.com/Game Day Express for details. Follow us on social media at RTCSNV for a chance to win tickets to VGK home games.
Make this your summer to save at Lexus of Henderson. Whether you're heading out on a family road trip or looking to upgrade your daily drive, now is the time to experience luxury for less. Discover exceptional offers on the 3-row Lexus TX and the versatile RX lineup, available at gas, hybrid, and plug-in hybrid models. Plus, take advantage of rates as low as 3.49% APR on select models. Visit Lexus of Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall or online at lexusofhenderson.com. OAC up to 48 months. See store for details.
Back to the rink as Dan Duva catches up with Vegas Golden Knights coach John Tortorella.
In Las Vegas, the Golden Knights and Hurricanes play Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. I'm Dan Duva with head coach of the Golden Knights, John Tortorella. Of course, Torts, it was a win for the Hurricanes in Game 5. Even though you guys scored the first goal, what did you see in the game?
Yeah, I like our 5-on-5 play. I felt we did some really good things there. Struggling killing penalties, took way too many penalties. Two parts of the game, we take 4 minutes. We killed the first 2. It's tough to kill off 4 minutes. So special teams was a difference in that game, but we'll be okay. We're going to flush it. Some of the good things we did 5-on-5, we've got to play more there. And just get ready for Game 6.
Are there lessons, or at this stage of the season, anything you say to the group about the penalties or how to affect the penalty kill?
Oh yeah, we always talk about it. Yeah. Stoney, it's almost an accident by Stoney, but it's still a penalty. So we're certainly we know we can't be taking 5 or 6 a game. You just don't win a game that way. So it'll be rectified, and hopefully play more 5-on-5.
Of course, you did score a power play goal, Pavel Dorofeev. What did you see in the power play? Yeah,
I had some good entries against a team that's very hard to enter on. I think little by little we're finding our way and using some ice that I think we need to use on our power play. Hopefully, if we get some opportunities, it'll come through for us in Game 6.
Pavel ends up with 2 goals. What have you seen in Pavel Dorofeev where late in the series he seems to get better and better?
Yeah, I think that's what everybody says. I'm just getting to know him. Everybody says he's streaky. Hopefully it's a good time that he keeps on scoring here and still finds his way. He's a good player. He's been pretty consistent right on through. Had some struggles here prior to scoring a couple, but he's had some chances. Big part of our power play. We're going to need him.
And at even strength, too, comes that second goal, and he's right there in front of the net to take the rebound off the pass.
Yeah, we need to be there. I think we need to be there more often in the blue. They've done a pretty good job against us in the blue. Stalls, has really hurt us in that area there. So at this time of year when you're getting shorter and shorter in games, only 2 left now, that's where a lot of actions happens, right in front of the goalie.
William Karlsson's injury during the contest clearly affects the team. How did you guys try to handle it?
Yeah, we just it's not one person. You just don't fill that void with Bill. He's such a great 200-foot player for us. Everybody has to chip in, right? And I think it's really important that it's basically a team-type situation in filling that void. We have the people that can do it. we need to do it.
Yeah, and the team wins the first round of the playoffs without William Karlsson. In other words, the team has found a way without him before.
Yeah, our room is good. We find ways, and I don't expect anything different come Game 6. We will be ready to play, and we'll find our way.
Mitch Marner and Brett Howden had points in each of the first 4 games of the final. They didn't have any points there in Game 5. You're, of course, trying to find that, tease the offense out of those guys. How much do you think about keeping those two together because they've had so much success, or try to help other parts of the lineup?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. They'll certainly play together. Bill is a big part of that line, being a center iceman on it. That hurts us. It does. But we still got some pretty good offensive people here. We'll try to find our way.
After the game in Raleigh, you're quite declarative about what you thought of the team, and you're leaving your clothes in Raleigh. I wonder what was going through your mind as you were thinking, trying to wrap your mind around the situation.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe in our team. I think the narratives out there is that we kind of got spanked out in Carolina. We had some good 5-on-5 minutes. I think we hurt ourselves with the penalties, and we certainly didn't kill. They scored 2 power play goals. It's tough to take that many penalties. I'm not trying to be a smartass. I believe we will win Game 6, and there will be a Game 7.
As you go into Game 6, there's 2 days in between games here, so you had the travel day and an optional practice. How might that benefit the group?
Yeah. I'm glad we got home quickly yesterday. The way we've run it here, I leave it up to the players this time of year. They can go on the ice today. They can go on the ice tomorrow. They don't have to go on the ice at all. When you're in the middle of June and the amount of time they've been on the ice practicing, I leave it up to them. All I want them to know is just to be ready to play when the puck is dropped Game 6.
You have been so good at telling us about distilling the information that you and the coaches come up with. I wonder how much you think about what you'll say to the group right before Game 6.
Oh, I have my thoughts. I'm certainly not going to tell you right now, but I have my thoughts. And
is it fun for you to think about that?
Yeah, and I don't do a lot of. It's not like I'm writing notes and preparing. I speak from my stomach, right? It depends on what the situation is. It depends on what's going on. I'm not going to rehearse. I think if you start rehearsing, it's ineffective. That's the greatest thing about our sport. It's such a spontaneous sport. Our athletes are spontaneous. I think spontaneous coaching is a very important part of coaching. So when the time comes and we're there tonight before we go out for our 5:30 game, I'm sure something's going to pop up in my head.
Torts, thanks so much. Best of luck.
My pleasure, Dan.
That's John Tortorella. We're back with more in a moment. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
If you're injured in an accident, here are the things that matter. Who you hire to represent you matters.
Where they live may seem like it doesn't matter. It matters.
The Richard Harris Law Firm employs over 150 local people.
Trabajamos aquí.
We live right here. We know Nevada. We know the courts. And we know how to win.
If you're injured in an accident, who you hire to represent you matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm. 444-4444.
Broker license number 1001607.LLC.
You gotta go Galindo.
I'm Josh Galindo, owner of Galindo Group Real Estate. Need to sell your home fast? I'll buy it cash, as is, where is, no repairs, no commissions, no hassle. I've purchased over 1,200 homes for cash right here in Las Vegas. Whether your home is damaged, destroyed, tenant occupied, stuck in probate, or in perfect condition, I've got you covered. We are cash, we are fast, we are reliable, we are local. We are the best.
You gotta go Galindo. 702-820-HOME.
GalindoGroupRealestate.com.
It's time for Vegas Golden Knights hockey. Let's head to the booth with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
We are moments from hockey. Game 6, Stanley Cup Final. The Stanley Cup is in the arena. The Hurricanes win. They become champions for the second time in franchise history. 20 years since Rod Brind'Amour captained the Hurricanes to a championship against the Edmonton Oilers. And in that series, went 7. Conference final that year, went 7. And the Hurricanes sustained pushbacks from the Buffalo Sabres and the Edmonton Oilers to pull it off. You go back 22 years ago, John Tortorella and the Tampa Bay Lightning did what the Golden Knights are trying to do this year. Fall behind in the series 3-2, but win Game 6 and win Game 7 to lift Lord Stanley. Tortorella would be the only head coach to accomplish that feat twice.
Ready for a show here, Dan. It's Game 6. The consequences are massive. The Golden Knights have experience. The Hurricanes, there's a romantic feel about their journey. They've got an intense coach. The Golden Knights fired their coach and brought in John Tortorella with 8 games to go. Carter Hart is writing a story of a comeback and bringing his career back after time away from the game. Super exciting. This is going to be great.
Speaking of experience, Riley Smith draws back into the lineup for the first time since Game 6 of the first round. He had 2 assists against Utah. Game 3, assisted on Nick Dowd's late goal in what was a 4-2 Knights loss. But then remember, in Game 5, he had the primary assist on Pavel Dorofeyev's goal that tied the game 4-4 with under a minute to play. That was the game won by the Knights in double overtime. Howden from Marner. Again, the key assist for Riley Smith. Game 5, first round against Utah. Riley has not played since the first round. Out of the lineup since William Karlsson returned from injury. But now Karlsson injured again. Riley Smith goes back in. It'll be his 124th career playoff game today. And his 11th Stanley Cup final game. In his Stanley Cup final career, all with the Knights, 5 goals and 4 assists. 9 points in 10 Stanley Cup final games, including in his most recent Stanley Cup final game, the Stanley Cup clinching goal, Game 5, 2023. Yes, the Knights scored 9 times, but it was Riley's goal, the Knights' 4th of those 9, that was the game winner, defeating the Florida Panthers back in 2023. That was 3 years ago yesterday. Well, the Golden Knights take on the Carolina Hurricanes with their season on the line. They have not faced elimination all postseason. Not since last year in the second round against the Oilers have they faced elimination. As we get ready for tonight's contest, it's now time for the Star Spangled Banner. Let's listen in.
Deaf performer with PXP, Audrey Adiola, and performed by Golden Pipes, Carnell Johnson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Audrey, and thank you, Carnell Johnson.
And we are set and ready to go. Game 6, Stanley Cup Final. The Knights and Hurricanes. A Vegas win forces Game 7 Wednesday in Raleigh. Knights coming off a 4-2 loss against the Hurricanes in Game 5. They scored first. It was a power play goal from Pavel Dorofeyev, his first point of the series, but Jordan Staal then scored his 8th of the playoffs and his 6th of the final. And the Knights never got the lead back, losing 4-2. Time for the starters today. Vegas starts its 4th line. Nick Dowd between Cole Smith and Braden Bowman, making his Stanley Cup playoffs debut. On defense, Braden McNabb and Shea Theodore. For the Hurricanes, their 3rd line, which has been ultra productive, Jordan Stahl, as I mentioned, 6 goals in the final, including at least 1 in every game of the final so far. He centers Nikolai Ehlers and Seth Jarvis. Keandre Miller, Sean Walker, the defense. The goaltenders, same as they have been for the last couple of games. Carter Hart for the Knights will make his 22nd playoff start for Vegas, 14-7. And Brandon Bussey, who came on in relief in the overtime loss for the Hurricanes in Game 3. He now will make his 3rd consecutive start. He's 2-1. Drop the puck at center. Vegas controls going right to left. Pass comes from Theodore to the near side, and Cole Smith angles it in, but it's an offside play. And they'll do it again in the neutral zone just 7 seconds into Game 6. Golden Knights in their gold uniforms here at home, white numbers, steel gray pants, and of course the white and red trim. The Carolina Hurricanes in their road white sweaters with red numbers, red pants, black and white trim.
Big storyline here, Dan, and you got it from John Tortorella. Vegas has got to play 5-on-5. Got to stay out of the box.
Knights change up the personnel. Pavel Dorofeev joins Jack Eichel and Mark Stone on the top line. Dorofeev with his first couple of points in Game 5. 2 goals. And after it looked like the Knights had won, the draw puck came off Dorofeev's stick, and it's dumped in by the Hurricanes. Svechnikov missed it. Dorofeev starts it ahead. Eichel to Stone. Right side of center. Forward to Rasmus Andersson, who guides it in. Opening 30 seconds of the first period in Game 6. Stone lands a check on the end boards. Puck comes out high, and Dorofeev swings it back down low. Taken off the near corner boards and played towards center by Walker. Knocked down, and Stone shoots it wide. Michael in pursuit, far side, turned over by Aho. Stone threw it back down into the corner. Tie-up is in the trapezoid behind the Carolina goal. Jordan Martinook lost it to Stone, feeds left point. Hannafin threw it across just between Dorofeev and Brett Howden, fresh from the bench. Howden feeding Dorofeev, knocked away from him, and the Hurricanes clear the zone. Howden with 14 goals in the playoffs, most of any player. Dorofeev is next on the list with 12, and then it's Logan Stankoven of the Hurricanes with 11. Knights get the puck out of their own zone. It bounces to neutral ice. Chatfield couldn't dump it in. Barbashev in his way. Barbashev with Marner and Howden. They get it deep. Ehlers goes back, tries to set up his teammates on the near boards, and it is pushed to center by Jarvis, but he can't control it any further. To the defensive zone, Theodore plays it out to Brett Howden. Howden had no points in Game 5 after he had points in each of the first 4 games of the series. Carolina recovers the puck. Fired out to the right wing side. Jalen Chatfield sends it in. Carter Hart slows it. Theodore, far corner, reverses the rim. Near corner, McNabb put it up the boards. Cut off at the line by Taylor Hall. Carried down low by Jackson Blake. He wraps it around, but through the blue ice. Untouched to the near boards. Chipped out by Barbashev. 2 minutes into the first period, 0-0. No shots on goal for either side. No penalties either. Tomas Hertl comes on. Hertl, Sissons, and Riley Smith, the forwards for Vegas. Icing here against the Hurricanes. Rasmus Andersson winning the race back to his own end. And Riley Smith, Colton Sissons, and Tomas Hertl make up the Knights' third line and a whole heap load of experience.
Taylor Hall took a wallop on his first shift, and he's leaning over in pain on the Carolina bench. Vegas has been physical in this series. More hits than the Hurricanes through the first 5 games.
Hall tied with Jackson Blake, 18 points to lead Carolina. Hall has 1 goal and 1 assist in this series. Ozone draw for the Knights, 2 minutes in. Eichel to take it on the right, and he wins it back for Andersson. Carries it down through the circle, and he sweeps it in front. It was behind Eichel, taken away and cleared all the way down. It'll be another icing, as Alexander Nikishin sent it through the neutral zone, just wanted to get it away from danger. Looked like it was Riley Smith and Ivan Barbashev who sort of crunched Taylor Hall along the boards on the previous play Gary was talking about. Here's another ozone draw for the Knights. Jack Eichel will take it. A little false start. Stankoven against Eichel. Right circle for Vegas. Eichel wings it straight back to Andersson. Left for Hannafin. His shot attempt cut down. And it's carried out by Jackson Blake. Skated forward by William Carrier, former Golden Knight. He gets it deep. Turnover off the left side boards, and a shot comes on. Save made by Carter Hart to his right. Puck comes around the boards, and now Aho shoots. Blocked by Eichel. Quick stick out by Stone. Eichel had to get around Aho, could not. So it will be Sean Walker back to his own end for the Hurricanes. That's the first shot of the game for either side. Shot from the left half wall for the Hurricanes. Dump in on the right by Walker, the defenseman. Korzak goes back. Korzak's 12th playoff game, and this now is 13th. He also had one last year, but this is first in the Stanley Cup final. Knights have the puck with Korzak in his own end. Forward, it's Cole Smith to send it in on net and steered aside by Brandon Bussey. Off the near boards, Knights get the puck with Nick Dowd. He turns and shoots from the left wall, but it's blocked. Up and out of play.
Bowman can really skate and pass the puck. He's a smart player, keeps his head up. And I think this series is kind of tailored for him. He was successful in the games he played against Colorado in the last series. I think he could have an impact tonight.
Talking about Korzak.
Korzak, what did I say?
You said Bowman.
I meant Korzak.
Both are fresh into the lineup today. Korzak, of course, is...
I'm nervous, too.
Korzak has been regular in the lineup. He played 78 regular season games. And is, as I mentioned, played now 13 out of the Knights' 22 in the postseason. But this is first game of the final. Off the near boards, taken by Carolina. To center they go with Seth Jarvis. He steers it in, stood up by McNabb. Puck down to the corner. Theodore there to play it. And then Stone up the boards. Eichel. His rink-wide pass goes across it right toward Ray Ferraro, who's working on the television broadcast between the benches. Tosses that puck to some fans in the front row. Korzak has not played in this series, but he did play in the conference final. Remember, Jeremy Lauzon was injured in the last game of the first round against Utah, so the Knights mixed and matched Korzak and Coghlan. Ben Hutton got some action as well. But with Lauzon available to return for the Stanley Cup final, he has played in each of the 6 games in this series. He had been with Coghlan the first 5, and now Korzak here today. Remember, Coghlan and Lauzon had never played together until the Stanley Cup final. Knights win the D-zone draw. Barbashev sends a fluttering pass to Bowman. It's an offside play, says the linesman. Stretch pass. Hall comes in left side. He shoots. He scores! Taylor Hall hanging out at the offensive blue line. The Hurricanes take advantage of the Knights' turnover at the Carolina line. And Hall, from the left circle, beats Carter Hart downstairs on the second Carolina shot of the game. The lefty came to the left dot and put it just over the left pad inside the long post. Taylor Hall's team-leading 19th point of the postseason. Now 2 goals here in the final for Taylor Hall, the former MVP.
He can shoot the puck. He still has speed. Former MVP in the National Hockey League. And it's a great shot. Far post. Beats Hart just under the glove and above the pad.
Again, the Knights look like they're going to get the puck into the offensive zone with their second line, Barbashev, Howden, and Marner. They just couldn't control it. It was a delayed offside. And now the Hurricanes get the early advantage. Knights do not have a shot on goal yet. Carolina has a pair. We're just 4 minutes in, 1-0 Hurricanes. Hall from Slavin and Blake at 3:47. Carolina to the ozone. A left wing shot sucked in by Hart. On a try by William Carrier. And the save for Carter Hart. Very notable because we just described Taylor Hall over on the bench in some obvious discomfort, if not pain, on an earlier hit from Barbashev and Riley Smith.
Well, it takes a lot to get anybody out of the lineup right now. And early in a game, Taylor Hall will do whatever he can to keep going.
23rd career playoff goal for Taylor Hall. He certainly bounced around in his career. First overall pick in 2010 for the Oilers. Had 6 years there, then 4 with the Devils, Arizona, Buffalo, Boston, Chicago. Now a couple of years here with the Hurricanes. He was sort of a throw-in player in the big Rantanen trade last season. Knights had a little trouble coming out of their own zone with the 4th line. Now it's McNabb and Theodore to get control. McNabb plays it up the near side, and Cole Smith swats it in. DeAndre Miller goes back, side steps a check from Dowd. Hurricanes cleared out. Glove down by McNabb. Svechnikov gets the puck. He turns it over to Theodore at center. Knights will back it up. Dowd in front of his bench, shoves it rink wide left to McNabb. But the red line sends it deep left corner. Bussey the touch behind his net. Dowd gets position on Walker. Prevents a Carolina control. Comes up the near side. Ehlers checked by Lauzon. It ends up in the Vegas side, and Korzak wins the race, but puck it knocked down all the way down. Jarvis knocks Korzak off the puck. It's a takeaway. Stahl centers, intercepted by Lauzon. Korzak tips it along, and on far side, it's down to clear it out. Cut off by Slavin at center. He dumps it back in. 1-0 Carolina here in the first period of Game 6. Hurricanes win. They get the Stanley Cup for the second time in franchise history. It's their third Stanley Cup final experience, including their time with the Hartford Whalers. Moved to Raleigh, North Carolina back in 1997. Got to the final and lost in 02. Got to the final and won it in 06. Here's an icing coming against Carolina.
Yeah, well, the Stanley Cup is in the building. Somewhere in its case right now. People from the Hockey Hall of Fame will be with it, shining it up. And the Golden Knights hope it stays in the case. Carolina wants it on the ice tonight.
Both times the Knights have been to the final. 1 loss and 1 win. The celebration was here. Knights lost Game 5 of 2018 final to the Capitals in this building. After they won the first game, they lost 4 in a row. Team's first ever 4-game losing streak. Knights win the draw. Dorofeev shoots. Stick save. Rebound Eichel and Stone. Rebound bounced away from Dorofeev, left to the crease. Eichel and Stone get to it on the near side, and now Dorofeev try to tuck it in front for Eichel, but it's broken up. Hurricanes get it back the other way. Stankoven leads Taylor Hall into the zone, backs his way to the left circle, stood up by Anderson. Hall rims it behind, picked up there by the Knights. Hanifin has to double back into the corner, separated from the puck by Stankoven, sends a soft pass toward the left, and a sharp angle shot goes off the outside of the left post, stays in play, up top for Walker, dishes into the right circle, off Hall's glove as he tried to reach down for it, sticks it from the right corner out to the right point. Walker sends it rink wide, now back to the right, swing and a miss by Hall, tried a sharp angle shot from near the right goal line, but missed the puck. Carolina gets it on the far side, tie up. Anderson forces it ahead. Stone guides it out. But the Knights need to change it up. 13:20 to go first period. Hurricanes in the lead 1-0 in Game 6. McNabb collides with Blake on the back check. McNabb then lifts the puck to center, bounces around. Barbashev gets the puck. Looked like he was held too, no call. Centering pass intercepted as Barbashev tried to get it in front to Mitch Marner. Hurricanes dump it in, but no icing. Looked like Barbashev got grabbed as he skated across the blue line. And it disrupted the play just a little bit. Carolina's forecheck prevents a Vegas clear. Aho tipped the pass. Hurricanes control the ozone. Centering pass save. Rebound. Sent just wide. Hurricanes get it again. Deep on the right, Svechnikov. That last attempt from Aho missed the left post. Only by inches. Svechnikov flipped on the far boards. Puck to the right. Aho feathers it in front. Hoping to get it to Svechnikov left circle. It didn't work. Knights get the puck. And out to center. Marner tried to tip it toward Barbashev. That didn't work. Carolina carries it back in. 3 against 4. Near side for Aho. Guides it to the trapezoid. McNabb took it away. Lost it to Aho again. Left point Chatfield. To the right. Booted by Gostisbehere. Got it to his stick though at the end of a shift. He dumps it in. 12:10 to go first period. 1-0 Carolina. 5 shots to 1 for the Hurricanes. Now Vegas dumps it in, but no icing here as the Hurricanes retrieve. Sissons up front with Riley Smith and Tomas Hertl. Slavin played it to the far side, tipped through center and down, no icing. Carter Hart leaves it in play for Lauzon. Bounces around on the near side, and who will get control of the bouncing puck? It is at the Vegas blue line near side. Hertl picks it up for the Knights, dishes right, and Korzak dumps it in. Off the stick down to the corner. Bowman pursues. Hurricanes get to it first. Eric Robinson skates it out. The birthday boy works it to the Vegas blue line and pokes it in toward the right corner. Carrier warding off Lauzon. They collide in the near corner. Right wing for the Hurricanes. Taken out of the corner by Jordan Stahl. Fakes away from Bowman. Stahl pressured against the near boards by Lauzon. Puck still alive now in the corner. Hertl knocks it loose and Vegas gets the puck. Korzak a little bit of space. He lofts it out, but misses Bowman at center. He was 1 against 3. Hurricanes mistime the entry, and that pass taken away by Noah Hanifin for the Knights. Eichel coming ahead, sets up Dorofeev, dishes right for Stone, back for Eichel. No room to shoot. He had to curl out to the far boards. Eichel again coming out high with the puck. One of the Hurricanes falls down. Eichel shoots, save! And the rebound skittered away from Dorofeev near the left post. Taken on the near side again by Eichel. Jams it behind Stone for Dorofeev and a save! Rebound on the top of the goal and then grabbed out of the air! It was rolling on the top of the net along the crossbar and then gloved by the goaltender Bussey.
Vegas gets a good shift from its top line. And Bussey continues to be impenetrable. That one he almost knocked in himself. Managed to snare it.
He is facing his own crossbar. He sees it bounce off the top of the goal and come to the front of the net rather than behind the net. And he gloves it, but also makes sure not to extend that arm into his own goal. Again, he was facing his goal, standing in an upright position as he watched the waffling puck. Timeout with 10:38 to go, first period. Carolina 1, Vegas 0. Hall from Slavin and Blake at 3:47. Only goals so far. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor, it's the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Hello, I am Nikki Fargas, president of the Las Vegas Aces. I am proud to support the mission of Nevada Donor Network by sharing the need to register to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Right now, over 30,000 African Americans are waiting to receive a life-saving organ. You can help provide hope to those waiting simply by registering to be a hero. Nevadans are giving, and together we can save lives. Join us at wearenevadans.org.
Welcome to Win City, where a hat trick means more than just 3 goals in a hockey game. It's also when you reach 3 goals in life. You make the perfect souffle. You graduate with that diploma. You land your dream job.
Goal for the hat trick! What a play!
Another great play is scoring the official credit card of the Vegas Golden Knights with exclusive perks and benefits for VGK fans. See if you pre-qualify at CreditOneBank.com. Terms apply. Credit One Bank, for what's ahead.
America First Credit Union has everything you need to get your money working. And for a limited time, new members get a $150 cash bonus for opening a checking account and $200 more for enrolling in and using direct deposit. If you're ready to do more with your money and get up to $350 cash, head to AmericaFirst.com and become a member today. Subject to membership eligibility, terms, creditworthiness, change, and conditions. Additional requirements may apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Let's get back to Dan Duva and Gary Lawless for more Stanley Cup Finals action.
Hurricanes 1, Golden Knights 0. Here in Game 6. Knights had a close call a moment ago. Pavel Dorofeev in front on a waffling puck, but Brandon Bussey played it off the top of the goal and held on with his glove. Knights are trailing 1-0 in goals. Shots on goal favor Carolina 5-3. No penalties so far in the game. Taylor Hall, the lone marker. 7 goals in the playoffs for Hall. 3 of those 7 are first goals, meaning the first goal of the game. The first one, you could say, here in the final as a first goal. 2 goals in the final overall for Taylor Hall. Carolina gets the D-zone draw, dumps it in. Jack Eichel, a little bit surprised. He peeked over his shoulder, and I don't think expected the player to be there. It was Jarvis. Knights get it anyway. It's Mitch Marner to dump it in. Marner, Eichel, and Stone up front. Theodore and McNabb the D. Carolina recovers the puck. Here comes Sean Walker. The defenseman enters with Jarvis. Pass off target, but McNabb couldn't play it cleanly. Has help from Theodore behind the Knights' net. McNabb put it ahead. Off the stick of Dowd as Hall went for the steal. Dowd carries it out. Sticks it off the near boards and in. Cole Smith gives chase. Braden Bowman making his playoff debut, joins the fray, gets the puck. He shoots, blocked. It ends up in the near circle. A little head fake from Cole Smith trying to help out Dowd, but the puck misses him and Blake sends it wink wide to center. Anderson back to defend the 2-on-3 entry. Hall gets some space and he shoots it wide left. And then penalty coming against Carolina. Jackson Blake trips Carter Hart in front. And it looks like the Knights will be getting a power play. First penalty of the contest, Garrett Rank points and has Blake.
Carolina penalty number 53, 2 minutes, tripping.
Blake must have said something to referee Garrett Rank, because right before Rank announced the penalty, he had a big smile on his face. And the Knights will get the game's first power play. They are 2 for 15 in the series after they had 11 power play goals combined in the first 3 rounds. First at timeout with 9:34 to go in the first. Hurricanes 1, Knights 0 in Game 6. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Everyone's so friendly here at Centennial Subaru. Can't walk 10 steps without a belly rub. They feed me snacks, and they even feed humans. Only thing bad I can say is they really like those guys on 2 wheels. This is why we bring our humans here. Go north, US 95 and Ann Road. Centennial Subaru, a short drive from everywhere.
Boomer Sportsbook is the place to bet the Cup final with the power play of new promotions. Score bonus bets with Captain Clutch, Shutout Insurance, Misfits Markets, and the popular Vegas first period bonus is back, but better. Just bet $20 or more on the Vegas money line, and if Vegas scores in the first period of that game, you'll get $10 in bonus bets. And now, if one of the Misfits scores in the game, you'll get $10 more in bonus bets. Download the Boomers app and activate it in 2 minutes at any Boomer Sportsbook in Nevada. Must be 21 or older. Terms and conditions available at betwithboomer.com. Please bet responsibly.
Gambler's Bonus hits again. On April 26th, Deborah hit 4 fours, clearing her Gambler's Bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo card for over $14,000. Deborah hit big, and so can you with Gambler's Bonus. It's why you play the game.
Make this your summer to save at Lexus of Henderson. Whether you're heading out on a family road trip or looking to upgrade your daily drive, now is the time to experience luxury for less. Discover exceptional offers on the 3-row Lexus TX and the versatile RX lineup. Available at gas, hybrid, and plug-in hybrid models. Plus, take advantage of rates as low as 3.49% APR on select models. Visit Lexus of Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall or online at lexusofhenderson.com.
OAC up to 48 months. See store for details.
Back to the Stanley Cup playoffs with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Golden Knights trail 1-0. 9:34 to go, first period. Stanley Cup final, Game 6. Knights trail 3-2 in the series. Dorofeev had a power play goal in the first period of Game 5. One of his 2 goals in Game 5 and his only points in the series. Carolina wins the D-zone draw. And all the way down it goes. Carter Hart will go to the trapezoid, waits for the puck, and then hands it off. Knights retreat. Gary, we know Carolina's been great in the face-off circle in this series, 56.3%. But they have been very good on special teams as well. Knights lose that draw. Here's Eichel approaching the line. Dishes right. It's an offside entry.
This is Carolina's strength. They've done a lot of good things on the penalty kill. Denying the entry, they've been really good at it.
Carolina's penalty kill is over 91% for the postseason overall. They've given up just 6 power play goals. Knights have given up 12 postseason overall. Knights are still good at 81%, but 91% for Carolina is outstanding. Knights win the draw in the neutral zone. Marner carries ahead, weaves in, gets to the slot, pulls and shoots. Save. Bussey took it right in his belly. Penalty clock down to 1:29. 9:03 to go in the first. Hurricanes in the lead 1-0. Marner's playoff production on the power play, 2 goals and 6 assists out of his 29 points, which leads all players here in the postseason. 7 points more than Jack Eichel's 22.
He only had 1 shot all of Game 5, so it's a good way for him to get going here.
Yeah, great point. And a false start at the draw. Tomas Hertl ends up on his knees. Jordan Stahl won 14 out of 19 draws. We're going to have a penalty here on the faceoff.
Las Vegas 48, minor penalty, faceoff violation.
That wipes out 90 seconds of power play time. 1 shot from Mitch Marner, and that's it. Hertl goes to the box, and now they'll skate 4-on-4. Faceoff violation. It was Hertl against Stahl. We're saying Stahl has been so good in the faceoff circle, winning 14 out of 19 just last game. And the Knights trying to do whatever they can, trying to prevent Stahl from winning these draws, but apparently Hertl guilty of a faceoff violation. So the Knights and Hurricanes will skate 4 aside for minute 29, and then a brief Carolina power play. It's 1-0 Hurricanes with 9:03 to go in the first. Well, John Tortorella talked about it, Gary, and you brought it up a few minutes ago, just the number of penalties the Knights have taken. Head-scratching, considering that 2 years in a row, they had the fewest times shorthanded in the league. 1-timer from the draw. Gostisbehere stopped by Carter Hart. Lefty 1-timer after a left circle face-off win. Gostisbehere got it out near the right point for the shot. Again, in regular season, Knights were shorthanded 204 times. Fewest in the league. 2 years in a row, they had the fewest times shorthanded during the regular season. Here in the playoffs, Obviously, it's a little bit different because you get different teams playing different numbers of games. But frankly, they're shorthanded way more often than you would expect. It'll be their 17th time shorthanded in this series. And Carolina goes to the power play in 1 minute and 22 seconds. Jarvis on the left, defended by McNabb. Taken to the corner boards. Theodore there to help out. Neither of these teams has scored at 4 versus 4 in the postseason. Left point, Goss to spare. Hands it off. Now dish toward the right circle. Off target. Knights get it. Howden threw it rink wide right for Eichel. Came off his stick. Returns it for Theodore in front of Carter Hart. Now to the near side of McNabb. Backwards to Theodore. Skates up the middle. Passes left. Eichel coming up to the blue. Net with 3 players at the line, so he turns back. Carolina changing. Sneaks it ahead. Howden is through. He shoots. Save! Bussing stops Howden on a partial breakaway. Knights tag up, re-enter. Anderson to Howden. Anderson trying to backhand it to Howden at the left goal line, but it's broken up. Ehlers the other way. 30 seconds to play at 4 versus 4. Ehlers drive blocked by Eichel. Up and out of play.
Yeah, Eichel and Howden, little telepathy. They knew exactly what they're doing. And Brett Howden is furious. He says he was slashed, and he was. Right on the stick. Svechnikov is coming back. He's behind Howden. He has no choice but to foul him. No call.
Howden tried to go 5-hole. It was not flat along the ice. And Bussy, the goaltender, never went down in the butterfly, yet just one of his pads angled. Knights win a D-zone face-off. Sissons winning that one against Stankoven. 4-on-4 continues for 22 seconds. 8 minutes to play in the first period. 1-0 Carolina. Hurricanes control it. They'll back it up intentionally. Sissons goes off, replaced by Stone. Stone and Marner the forwards. Anderson and Hanifin the D. Now Anderson heading off. Hanifin will follow him to the bench as Lozon and McNabb come on. It's Tomas Hertl in the box for the Knights because of the face-off violation. Penalty to Blake, released for Carolina. Carolina power play now. And Marner intercepts a pass and clears it off the sidewall and softly through center. A pass made by Gostisbehere, intended for the left circle. Marner reached as far as he could toward the far side to break up that pass. Hurricanes dump it in. Carter Hart goes to play a turnover. Diving save, Hart! Rebound to the near side, off the glass and out through center. Carter Hart with a gap, and then a recovery. Gets his stick back. And the Knights have killed off the brief Carolina power play and keeps this game at 1-0 Hurricanes. 7 minutes to go in the first period. Puck ends up in the right corner for the Hurricanes. Anderson lost it. Backhand shot. Save! Martinook's backhand shot stopped by Hart from 10 feet away. From the left corner to the left point, Walker returns it low. Martinook defended by Hanifin. Martinook rings it to the weak side right. Aho low to high. Nikishin shoots, knocked down. Rebound, trickles wide left. Ehlers was out in front, couldn't reach the rebound. Martinook gets tackled in the corner. Several players are down. Puck into the slot. Anderson banks it to center. Just needs to change personnel. Cole Smith in pursuit, but the Hurricanes send it the other way. Aho dumps it in. Counterclockwise rim. Korzak's clearing attempt was knocked down. 3 Knights are over on the sidewall, but now it goes behind the Knights' net. 6 minutes to go, first period. Hurricanes in the lead 1-0. Puck at center. Marner lost it. Eichel finds it. Skates in. Eichel through the left circle. Got toward the net, but it was knocked away from him by Slavin. As the righty opened up. Couldn't shoot it on his backhand. Tried to get it to his forehand, and that's when Slavin knocked it away. Team USA teammates Slavin and Eichel. Dumped in by Korzak. Now Korzak prevents a Carolina clear, chipping the loose puck to the left corner. Another try. McNabb lands the check, but the puck goes out to center. It is played out by Jarvis. Marner going back with Theodore to the Knights' defensive zone. 5:25 to go, first period of Game 6. Hurricanes lead the series 3-2, leading the game 1-0. Taylor Hall, the only goal so far. Puck to the near side on the left wing for the Knights. Tie up along the boards. Hertl trying to get position. McNabb is in there for the Knights. The whole scrum moves out toward the blue line. It stays in, though, for Sissons. Leaning in. Knocks it to the corner. Sissons tripped up. No call. Carolina gets it out of the near side half-wall scrum. Walker rattles it through the neutral zone. Theodore the quick up. Tipped in. as the referee takes a spill away from the puck, which draws a reaction from the crowd. Hurricanes have the puck as the Knights get new players on. Stone reaches in and knocks down a breakout pass, but he deflected it right onto the Carolina bench to stop play. 4:44 to play, first period. Hurricanes 1, Golden Knights 0. Each team with an abbreviated power play. Carter Hart turned the puck over behind his net, but he made a desperate dive as he came around the right post to save the goal and prevent Carolina on its only power play shot from scoring. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor, it's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
I feel like I'm getting robbed when I bet the Stanley Cup on a sports book.
Dude, delete that app. You need to be using Polymarket.
Polymarket?
Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for greedy sports books.
Even during the Stanley Cup?
Especially during the Stanley Cup. Polymarket is an official prediction market of the NHL.
No way. What's the catch?
No catch. And it's available in all 50 states. Polymarket is so confident you'll never go back, they're giving you $50 free on your first trade.
I'm deleting my sportsbook app. How do I get started?
Download Polymarket now and use promo code EPIC for $50 free on your first trade. Stop letting sportsbooks steal from you. Download Polymarket and use promo code EPIC for $50 free on your first trade. Use promo code EPIC. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, your health, your peace, and your life can all be impacted. That's why Anthem Injury Lawyers fight for more than settlements. We fight to help you heal, rebuild, and move forward. Because we don't just win cases, we help you reclaim your life. When accidents happen, Anthem Injury Lawyers drive results. Call Anthem Injury Lawyers at 702-857-6000 or visit antheminjurylaw.com.
Back to the Fortress for more Stanley Cup playoff action.
Special thank you from the Golden Knights to today's game title partner, Ghost Energy. Thank you from the Knights to our friends at Ghost Energy. 1-0 Carolina, 4:44 to play first period. Taylor Hall from Jacob Slavin and Jackson Blake, the only markers so far at came at even strength. Carolina wins a center ice face-off. And the dump in down to the corner, far side. Korzak behind his net, looking toward Mark Stone, but it's taken away by the Hurricanes. Svechnikov, who had a pair of goals in Game 5, both on the power play, trying to get control down in the corner. Korzak and Svechnikov dueling. Lozano tied up Martinuk. Now it squirts to the near side corner. Dorofeev tries to clear. Aho prevents it. Dorofeev now skates it out. Passing left wing. Eichel across the red, dumps it in. Clockwise around, Dorofeev to it, defended by Slavin. Puck sitting in the right corner, Stone on it, whacks it around to the left wing. McNabb pinches in, threw it toward the goal, but it ends up behind, off the far corner boards, up the wall and out to center for the Hurricanes coming left to right. Hall works around, he cuts in front, save! Penalty coming up. Taylor Hall trying to carve his way towards the middle. It was 1 against 3, and a hooking penalty is coming up.
Going to be Jack Eichel.
Carter Hart held his ground to make the save. Here's the penalty call.
Vegas penalty, number 9, 2 minutes, hooking.
Jack's stick ends up under the left armpit of Hall. Hall puts his left arm out trying to ward off Eichel, and in so doing, Eichel's stick blade ends up under the armpit. Eichel puts his hands up, trying to say, hey, Hall basically took my stick out of my hands with his chicken wing. But the officials don't see it that way.
Well, you can say the Golden Knights don't want to take penalties. The other side of it is Carolina is forcing the first penalty. You know, certainly Hurdle didn't need to do that. But Hall puts Eichel in a bad spot there, wins a race, and forces Jack to take a penalty.
Yeah, the legs of the Hurricanes have forced the Knights into penalties, and I'm thinking, Gary, in particular about Stankoven drawing the roughing penalty to Jeremy Lozano the second period of Game 5. To the attack go the Hurricanes. Left wing, Gostisbehere shoots, glove save! From inside the left circle dot for Shane Gostisbehere. And a little extracurricular activity after the whistle. Aho ends up on his rear end. Shane Gostisbehere has been fantastic with 9 power play points in the postseason. 1 goal and 8 assists. He assisted on both Svechnikov power play goals last game. And right there, lefty blast that was ticketed for the long post. But Carter Hart makes the glove save.
Yeah, he creeps in and he's got quite a bit of space. A big kill here for the Golden Knights. Can't go down 2-0.
Face-off win for the Hurricanes. Gostisbehere again. Dishes to the outside. Sissons and Lausanne defend there. Cole Smith and McNabb defend the middle. Puck around to the near side right. Gostisbehere for Aho at the right half wall. Aho the lefty. Up top again, Gostisbehere. Aho once more, lost it. Reach in by Cole Smith, the steal. Comes out shorthanded, sets up Sissons, 1 against 2. Trying to go around Gostisbehere, but the defenseman knocks it away. Carolina coming left to right, minute 20 on the power play. New Knights have come on, Anderson and Hannif in the D. Up top, Gostisbehere, redirect, just one. Aho trying to redirect, but missed the left post on a slap pass by Gostisbehere from straight on. Rim around to the near side right for the Hurricanes. Gostisbehere takes it off the right wall. Dishes left. Ehlers carries it toward the corner, returns it up high for Gostisbehere. Defended by Dow. Feed right for Svechnikov. Backs off, yanks it down into the corner. Aho. Picked up by Hannifin. Rimmed around by Aho, but it goes off the stick of Ehlers and out to the neutral zone. 45 seconds on the power play for Carolina, leading 1-0. 2:30 to go, first period of Game 6. Hurricanes in on the near side right. Stone knocks it to the line, not out. Kept in. Now jammed down by McNabb. Reaching it on Jackson Blake on the near boards right wing. Hurricanes back to their own blue with Taylor Hall. Pass left. And now on the entry, here comes Hall. Knocked off his stick by Lausanne. Down into the near corner. Marner banks it around, but right to Stankoven. Left corner. Put it out to the point. Feed from Nikishin to Hall. Intercepted in the slot by Lausanne. They'll send it in the air, down the boards. That'll bring the penalty inside 7 seconds. Forecheck comes from first Howden, then Marner. Responsible for 4 shorthanded goals. Mitch Marner, 4 shorthanded assists. Now the penalty is over. Eichel joins the play on the right. Give and go. Cutting in front Marner, but it's knocked off his stick. Good reach in by Nikishin. Penalty coming up against Carolina. Knights get the puck at center. Vegas changing players, and Eichel's pass knocked down by Chatfield. Carter Hart goes to the bench. Vegas will now get a 6th attacker on. 1:25 to go. Eichel gets through right circle. He shoots. Save. Bussy. No rebound. And the Knights will be going to the power play themselves. Minute 22 to go in the first period. Vegas trailing 1-0.
Now this is a dumb penalty by the Hurricanes. Stankoven has no need of doing this.
Here comes the call.
Carolina 22 minor penalty. Cross-checking.
Just cross-checks Marner in the back for no reason.
Puck is nowhere, and puck is out to center. Yeah, just a totally needless play by Stankoven.
Now the Golden Knights need to make Carolina pay. If they're going to make mistakes like that, Vegas has to put the puck in the net.
Knights are now 2 for 16 in the series. If you go back to the conference final over the last 7 games, including today, they're 2 for 18. Again, the Hurricanes have given up just 6 power play goals the entire playoffs. 1 in the first round, 1 in the second round, 2 in the third round, and as I mentioned, 2 here in the final. But this is the first time they have had to play a Game 6. They won by sweep in the first 2 rounds, and then in 5 games in the conference final. Minute 22 to go in the first period. Knights trailing 1-0. Hurdle wins the draw, and there's a broken stick on the play for a Hurricane. Eichel for Marner. Hurdle back for Eichel in the left circle. Could not shoot it. Eichel gets it at the left goal line. It's 5 against 3.5 with a broken stick on the ice for a Hurricane. It's Chatfield without a stick. Marner slides it right. There's Dorothea. 2 goals last game. Eichel to the right for Marner. Mishandles the puck. Knocked loose. Dorothea gets to it. Martinook knocks it down. Vegas gets it anyway. Right corner Marner. Now thrown out high. Dorothea right misses 2 teammates. Stone and Marner. And the Golden Knights fans are really frustrated. Marner shoots. Save. Rebound. Another save. Still free. Banging away in front. Hurdle from his knees. Couldn't get a shot off. Goaltender gets his stick back after he lost it momentarily. Marner left for Eichel. Into the bumper. Knocked away from Hurdle and cleared down. All the way back to the Vegas side. 30 seconds to go in the period. Here comes Marner out of his own zone. 22 seconds left in the period. Marner drops it backward. Eichel takes it at the logo. Cuts into the zone. Drops it off for Hurdle. 15 seconds. Hurdle right. Stone to Marner in the middle. He shoots. Save! Off the right pad of Bussy. 10 seconds to go. Hurdle in the left corner. Stone for Eichel. Extra pass and a shot. Save! Bussey diving left on Dorothea with 2, with 1. And the period comes to a close. Brandon Bussey putting on a show with his team shorthanded in the dying seconds of the first period. Keeps the Golden Knights power play at bay. Knights will have carryover time. But a few shots on this power play. Plenty of passing, but Gary, they did get a few good looks. And Brandon Bussey with some big-time saves.
Yeah, it's one mistake in the period for the Golden Knights in terms of letting Taylor Hall get free, and he is able to beat Carter Hart. Vegas had a number of chances. High-danger chances will probably favor Vegas again. They did in Game 4. They did in Game 5. But they lost both those games. They need to put the puck in the net.
Golden Knights are held to 0 goals. They have a total of 4 goals in the first period. In the series, Carolina has 7. And the Knights are now in the red for first periods throughout the playoffs, having been outscored 19-18 in first periods. Taylor Hall, the only goal in the first period today. Hall from Slavin and Blake at 3:47. The Golden Knights had lost control on an entry. It was a delayed offside against Vegas, and because they were sort of off kilter on the delayed offside, the Hurricanes countered. Blake to Slavin, and Hall took the lead pass at the blue line left wing. Cruised in without a defender in front of him and beat Carter Hart low over the left pad and just inside the long post, the right post. Taylor Hall's second goal of the final and 7th goal of the postseason. He leads the Hurricanes with 19 points, 23 career postseason goals for the former MVP, Taylor Hall. We'll have a live interview momentarily. We expect Cole Smith to join us, so stand by for Cole Smith. Knights again will start the second period on the power play. Just a little bit of carryover time after the penalty was called against Stankoven at 18:38, so 22 seconds of carryover time for the Knights' second power play. They've got 4 shots over the course of 2 power plays. First one was short-circuited, only 29 seconds because of what was a penalty against Tomas Hertl. So they had 1 then and then 4 on the second one, so 5 overall. Of their 9 shots, 5 of them, actually they've made it 10 now. 10 shots for Vegas. 5 of those 10 have come over the course of their 2 power plays. On the other side, just 1 save for Carter Hart with his team shorthanded. It's a total of 8 shots on goal for Carolina, and the goal came at even strength.
The last penalty kill for Vegas was a momentum builder. They did an excellent job. Carolina had a couple of looks, but it looked like McNabb got a little bit more comfortable, and the spacing and the structure, these are things that the Golden Knights would have worked on. Looking at video the last couple of days, looked like they were in pretty good shape.
Let's go downstairs to the Knights dressing room and let's welcome Cole Smith to the broadcast. Hi, Cole. Dan and Gary in the booth. Thanks for coming by. What'd you make of your team's play in the first period tonight?
Yeah, I think overall it was a pretty good period for us. Obviously, they had a couple shifts with sustained pressure, but I think for the most part kept them to the outside. They got the one breakaway there that they scored on, but we had plenty of chances ourselves, especially on the power play there, so the score could be a little bit different here.
When a goalie's going good like Bussey is, what do you do to try and get him off his game?
Yeah, we got to get more traffic, more bodies, try to get him busy in the net, and just keep slinging pucks from all angles. I think that's going to be important.
When you're a little kid, did you dream about playing in a game like this?
Yeah, definitely. This is exactly what you want to play for as a competitor and as an athlete. These are the games you want to be in.
Cole Smith, what do you make of Braden Bowman making his playoff debut in the Stanley Cup Final?
Yeah, I mean, pretty good debut for the playoffs, huh? But he's a great kid, and he's going to play hard tonight, and just keep it simple. Playing with us, we just told him, don't worry about it. It's just another game, and play simple and play the way what got you here.
Cole, thanks. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
Cole Smith from the Knights dressing room. Can you imagine Gary talking about, as you say, dreaming of playing in the Stanley Cup Final? Braden Bowman probably didn't imagine he'd be in the National Hockey League this year. Just a second-year pro, undrafted, signed an AHL contract. Last spring, signed his first NHL contract. Called up back in the fall because of injuries to Carlson and Stone, etc., and ended up playing almost 60 regular season NHL games. But as you talked about earlier, salary cap situation, sent back to the American League in April. And though he's been with the team and practicing for the last several weeks, he has not appeared in a playoff game until today.
Well, you can imagine what it was like for him when he was informed yesterday, get ready to play tomorrow because you're going in. It would have been quite a moment for him, and we'll see. It's an okay period for the Golden Knights despite being down by 1 goal. We'll see if Bowman can get involved.
And I suppose he made a phone call home. As Gary has a story to tell, but...
Yes, he has all of his parents and his brother are all in the building tonight. His dad is Randy, his mom is Janine, and his brother is Tucker. And we kind of met them when he played in Maple Leaf Gardens. I don't know what it's called now, but it's the rink in Toronto. He was there that night, and they were there that night, as were some of his buddies in his old junior shirts. This is, they say it takes a village. That's the case with Braden Bowman.
Carolina 1, Vegas 0 through 20 minutes of play in Stanley Cup Final Game 6. Hurricanes need 1 win for Stanley Cup Championship. Knights need to win today, and they need a win in Game 7 Wednesday in Raleigh. Tortorella's done it before. Did it with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Trailed 3-2 in that series to Calgary back in 2004. Won Game 6 and Game 7 for the Lightning's first Stanley Cup Championship. We'll be right back with Ryan Wallace and the Intermission Report, presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the rewards program that loves it when you date night, bet the perfect parlay, lounge poolside, oh, shiatsu, bottle service, yeah, hit me, shop till you drop. And then some. Earn and redeem on countless amazing experiences at MGM Resorts. This is MGM Rewards. Why be a guest when you can be a member? Visit MGMRewards.com for more. Earning and redemption limitations may apply to certain purchases in certain states.
Being diagnosed with cancer was the hardest thing I've ever faced. Funny how when I got the news, it was life's simple things that mattered most. Like nights out with the kids. As a candidate for a new clinical trial right here in Vegas, I've been able to spend more time with them, making memories, and never missing a family night out.
Comprehensive Cancer Centers. Here where you need us.
Hey Golden Knights fans, want to score free tickets? Green Valley Grocery is giving away multiple pairs of VGK tickets every month through December. More winners, more chances, more fans inside the Fortress cheering on the Knights. Download the Green Valley Grocery app and enter for your chance to win. Each game brings a new opportunity, only available through the app. Don't wait. Download the GVG app today and unlock exclusive rewards, surprise perks, and your chance at VGK tickets only from Green Valley Grocery.
What do you think makes the perfect snack?
It's gotta be when I'm really craving it and it's convenient.
Could you be more specific?
When it's cravenient.
Okay.
Like a freshly baked cookie made with real butter, available right down the street at AM/PM, or a savory breakfast sandwich I can grab in just a second at AM/PM.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Well, yeah, we're talking about what I crave.
Which is anything from AM/PM.
What more could you want?
Stop by AM/PM where the snacks and drinks are perfectly craveable and convenient. That's Cravenience. AM/PM, too much good stuff.
At Access, we believe that music and sports are best enjoyed live and in person. That's why we're passionate about providing fans with tickets to the hottest sporting events and concerts around the world, including right here in Vegas. The Access ticketing app is safe, simple, and secure, and you can find it in the App Store for iOS or the Google Play Store for Android. Or visit us at access.com to find tickets to your next unforgettable live experience. That's AXS.com. Access, your ticket to Las Vegas.
America First Credit Union has everything you need to get your money working. And for a limited time, new members get a $150 cash bonus for opening a checking account and $200 more for enrolling in and using direct deposit. If you're ready to do more with your money and get up to $350 cash, head to AmericaFirst.com and become a member today. Subject to membership eligibility, terms, creditworthiness, change, and conditions. Additional requirements may apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Here's Ryan Wallace with the Intermission Report on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
The Vegas Golden Knights Foundation supports exemplary Las Vegas nonprofit organizations that make a positive impact in the local community with a focus on 5 pillars: youth, sports, health and wellness, education, first responders and veterans, and hunger and homelessness. For more information on the Vegas Golden Knights Foundation or to make a donation, visit vegasgoldenknights.com/community. See the mission report. The Golden Knights trailed the Carolina Hurricanes 1-0 after the first period of play. Taking a look at the highlights in that first period. The Hurricanes opened the scoring after a turnover from Vegas led to a break the other way for Taylor Hall.
Says the linesman. Stretch pass. Hall comes in left side. He shoots. He scores. Taylor Hall hanging out at the offensive blue line. The Hurricanes take advantage of the Knights' turnover at the Carolina line. And Hall from the left circle beats Carter Hart downstairs on the second Carolina shot of the game.
7th goal of the postseason for Taylor Hall from Jacob Slavin and Jackson Blake. 3:47 in the first period makes it 1-0 Carolina. That's where we stand after the first period of play. We're back with more in a moment. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Hi, I'm attorney Adam Kuttner. I grew up playing hockey. To win in hockey, you have to be aggressive, you have to work hard, and you have to have a great team. And it's no different when I'm representing my clients in their personal injury cases. My team and I work hard to get you the maximum settlement as quickly as possible, because winning is everything.
If you've been injured in an accident, ask attorney Adam Kuttner, 702-382-0000. That's 382-0000.
Your Vegas Golden Knights try to elevate hockey to an art form. Similarly, the team at Toshiba America Business Solutions empowers the art of business with award-winning copiers, printers, document management solutions, and digital signage that help you engage and delight your customers. As an official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights, Toshiba America Business Solutions works overtime to make you and your documents look good. And with the best service in town, you'll never find your business in the penalty box. Look for us at business.toshiba.com. Toshiba, official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
For years, everyone thought Verizon had the best network, because they did. But now the best mobile network in the U.S. is T-Mobile. T-Mobile's network has the most advanced 5G, with more towers, and their signal reaches further than ever. So you can text and Insta-Talk and say, "You won't believe where I am."
T-Mobile has the best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. See T-Mobile.com/network.
The legendary El Cortez Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas's original downtown hotspot since 1941. Play the slots, hit the tables, sip on classic cocktails, and enjoy hospitality the old school way. Experience the perfect mix of vintage Vegas charm and modern excitement that can't be found anywhere else. Whether you're here to stay, play, or dine, the good old days of Las Vegas are alive and well at El Cortez Hotel and Casino.
Back to Ryan Wallace for his Stanley Cup Final Intermission Report.
Hey, Golden Knights fans, we know you do anything for a win and an ice-cold Bud Light, because whether you're cheering in the arena or parked on the couch, the clean and crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. Bud Light, easy to drink and easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. See Intermission Report. The Golden Knights trail the Carolina Hurricanes 1-0 after the first period of play here in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Stats of the period are presented by Foley Family Wine. Shots 10-8, the edge to the Vegas Golden Knights. Hits 12 apiece in that opening frame. Carolina 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Vegas also 0 for 2 on the power play, though they will have some carryover power play time to start the second period. Carolina charged with 2 giveaways, 3 takeaways, and 4 block shots. Vegas 5 giveaways, a single takeaway, and 3 block shots. Let's take a look at the good for the Golden Knights. They created a lot of dangerous chances, a lot of really good looks in that first period. Brandon Bussi with a couple of big-time saves, especially late. Pavel Dorofeev on the power play. It's a diving save from Brandon Bussi. I liked what the Golden Knights were able to create. Was it their best period? No. But they did create some dangerous looks in and around the net. The puck is following Pavel Dorofeev, so I like that for the Golden Knights moving forward. However, you got to find a way to break through, right? Obviously, Carolina opportunistic once again. They get one really good look in transition, and Taylor Hall is able to bury it. However, I thought for Carter Hart, he settled in a bit more in that period, comes up with a diving save to keep this a one-goal game, and then had a couple of nice saves on the Carolina power play as well. So it's not a perfect period for the Golden Knights, but they are just trailing Carolina by 1 goal. That is not insurmountable. We have seen the Golden Knights come back What you're looking for here is to build into the game. You want Vegas to be better in the second period than they were in the first, and great in the third period as this game wears on. They've been good in this series in the second period. They've got to go out and win a second period here. Second period action's coming up next. Dan and Gary, they've got the call. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
The best hockey lives here.
Back to Rick. Foresight shot.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
At Access, we believe that music and sports are best enjoyed live and in person. That's why we're passionate about providing fans with tickets to the hottest sporting events and concerts around the world, including right here in Vegas. The Access ticketing app is safe, simple, and secure, and you can find it in the App Store for iOS or the Google Play Store for Android. Or visit us at Access.com to find tickets to your next unforgettable live experience. That's AXS.com. Access, your ticket to Las Vegas.
Hey, Golden Knights fans, when we win, you win. That's because Buffalo Wild Wings is giving away 6 free wings with a $10 minimum purchase anytime the Golden Knights win a preseason, regular season, or playoff game. This Win for Wings promotion is valid for 2 days after each qualifying game at all B-Dub Sports Bar locations throughout the Vegas area. Get your 6 free wings on top of great drink specials, including some of the best happy hour and late night prices Vegas has to offer throughout hockey season at your local Buffalo Wild Wings, a proud partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Being diagnosed with cancer was the hardest thing I've ever faced. Funny how when I got the news, it was life's simple things that mattered most, like nights out with the kids. As a candidate for a new clinical trial right here in Vegas, I've been able to spend more time with them, making memories, and never missing a family night out.
Comprehensive Cancer Centers. Here where you need us.
It's time to upgrade your roofing and solar experience, and Cooper Roofing and Solar has you covered. Literally. From re-roofing to deck installs, roof tune-ups, skylights, and more, they do it all. Right now, subscribe to Cooper's maintenance plan and get a 15% discount on roof maintenance. Keep your roof in top shape, avoid emergency repairs, and save big. Cooper Roofing and Solar is employee-owned and Southern Nevada's largest roofing company. Call Cooper today at 702-688-7940 or visit coopersolar.com. Cooper Roofing and Solar, proud roofing partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Welcome to Win City, where a hat trick means more than just 3 goals in a hockey game. It's also when you reach 3 goals in life. You make the perfect souffle. You graduate with that diploma. You land your dream job.
Goal for the hat trick! What a play!
Another great play is scoring the official credit card of the Vegas Golden Knights with exclusive perks and benefits for VGK fans. See if you pre-qualify at CreditOneBank.com. Terms apply. Credit One Bank, for what's ahead.
Back to the Stanley Cup Finals as the Golden Knights take on the Hurricanes.
Hi, above ringside at T-Mobile Arena. Here in fabulous Las Vegas, the Golden Knights trail the Hurricanes 1-0 in Game 6. Carolina leads the series 3-2. Win today for the Canes brings them a second Stanley Cup championship. Inside the radio booth, Dan Duva, Gary Lawless. Gary, the Knights trail 1-0. Taylor Hall, the only goal of the first period. Knights generated 11 shots after they finished counting. 6 of those 11 over the course of 2 power plays, and they will have some carryover time to begin the second period.
First power play was short. It was abbreviated when Tomas Hertl took the face-off infraction penalty. And there's 38 seconds left on this one, so Golden Knights will try and get the puck into the Carolina zone and see what they can set up in a hurry.
Again, William Karlsson unavailable. Riley Smith has entered the lineup. Braden Bowman goes in for Keegan Colasar, who's a healthy scratch. Just the 4th playoff game for which Colasar has been scratched in his career. First one since the Dallas series, Game 5, 2 years ago. Underway in the second period. Knights go left to right in the middle period. Power play time ticks down to 25 seconds. Hertl gains the line with Stone on the right. Tap back to Marner. To the left for Eichel. Spins to the left circle. Martinook stays with him. Eichel again. Marner right for Dorofeev. He shoots, blocked. Dorofeev gets it again. Now Marner shoots, save. Rebound evades Stone, and it's cleared back down by the Hurricanes. Good, the penalty kill for Carolina It's been downright fantastic. This one expires now for the night, so Carolina is now at 70 penalty kills. I should say 70 times shorthanded. They've given up just 6 goals on those 70 times shorthanded, including today. Here's Barbashev, who only played 2 minutes in the first period. Barbashev out there with Bowman and Howden following the power play. Minute gone in the second. 1-0 Carolina. Up the boards it goes. Bounced off of Braden McNabb. Theodore held the line momentarily, but the Hurricanes take advantage and go the other way with speed. 2-on-2. Theodore and McNabb converge to knock it away from Jarvis. Puck goes around and out. 2-on-2. Bowman comes in with Barbashev. Bowman rips it high and wide. Gets the glass behind the goal. Off to the near side. Carolina gets it. Left wing for the Hurricanes. Steal at center for Theodore. Forward to Bowman, but it got away from him. Hurricanes send it the other way. Jankowski, and he signals to the official high touch, and that's the correct call against the Golden Knights. Ozone draw coming for Carolina.
And one of the dangers of double shifting Marner is sometimes you can lose a player, and it's been Barbashev who has been important for the Golden Knights so far in the playoffs. 2 minutes of ice time is not enough for Ivan in the period.
Especially when he's accustomed to playing on the top line. Last game, he only played 12 minutes and 3 seconds. In the playoffs, averaging 17 minutes and 20 seconds. Ivan Barbashev, again, limited to just 2 minutes in the first period. Knights win the D-zone draw. Hurdle helps it ahead. Down gets it all the way down. It's worth noting, Barbashev does not play on the penalty kill, and he's on the second power play unit, so he doesn't often get much special teams time. Lausanne plays it up the middle, but misses everybody. Icing against the Knights. 2 minutes into the second period, 1-0 Carolina. Each team's power play now officially 0 for 2. First couple of power plays were abbreviated, about 90 seconds of 4 versus 4. Penalty kills for the Knights brought to you by Just Ingredients. It's a right circle draw for the Hurricanes after the icing. Carter Hart watches to his left. Hurricanes trying to build the lead. They trailed 1-0 in Game 5. And come back to tie it. And ultimately led 3-1 before we got to the third period. Knights get it in on goal. Bussey forced to seal it to his left. And the draw ends up on the right side after the whistle. A little shoving. Riley Smith and Keandre Miller have words.
Vegas has been a lot better in the draw so far in this game, Dan.
They won 10 out of 19 in the first period, which doesn't sound anything special, but
better than 50%, and they've been way below that for most of the series.
Especially, and they made up in the third period last game, so it didn't look too bad for the game overall. But Carolina was at 65% through 2 periods in Game 5. Here's an icing against Carolina. They won 22 and lost only 12 through 2 periods of Game 5. As I said, the Knights made the number look a little more respectable at the end of the game, but you get the idea. After the icing, this will be the 22nd draw. Make it the 23rd here coming up. Eichel against Stahl. And it's a loose puck. Eichel nudges it toward Dorofeev. Carolina clears the zone. Hurricanes get it in. Hanifin and Anderson go back. Anderson nudges it forward to Dorofeev. His pass toward Eichel knocked down by Ehlers. Ehlers tried to dump it in. Dorofeev knocked it down. Then he gets bowled over. Canes get it. Feed right. Just missing Stahl. Ehlers and Stahl go to it. Pulled away by Jack Eichel. Comes ahead. Eichel, right wing for Stone, looking for the trailer, intercepted on the back check by Ehlers. Gets it ahead for Stahl, left wing. Stahl shoots, shut down by Hart. Turnover by Mark Stone, an unforced error at the offensive blue line leads to a breakaway chance for Stahl. That's what happened on the previous Carolina goal. There's a right wing shot over the Vegas net. Comes over to the left wing. Svechnikov rips it through the net mouth and wide. Stone off the boards. Stone to Dorofeev. He kicks it through center off the inside of his right skate. Knights lose possession. Knights had their second line on the ice, Howden, Marner, and Barbashev, and they lost the puck. It was a delayed offside back in the early stages of the first period. And that turnover led to the quick strike goal for Taylor Hall. Here Again, the Knights turn it over needlessly at the offensive blue, leading to a Jordan Staal scoring opportunity, but this time Carter Hart makes the save. Stretch pass for the Knights. Theodore ahead to Barbashev, who tips it in. Carolina recovers and a quick clear. This one misses Robinson. It's on goal though. Carter Hart forced to play it. Gets it behind his net. McNabb lifts it to center. Carolina's got to clear out. A hit the skate. That's an offside. They're going to make that an intentional offside. Hit Carrier's skate. They're going to bring it to center ice. Hit Carrier's skate. But probably not intentional. He was trying to get out of the zone.
Big important save for Carter Hart on Jordan Staal, and Staal had his time and he picked his spot, and Carter is able to put out his blocker and his right pad and knock it down.
And Carter went down with his pads before Staal shot it. Staal, seeing an opportunity, tried to go over the right pad, but Carter brought that right pad back up and reached down with the right arm, the blocker. Now a Knights turnover in their own zone, but Hertl knocks it away from Blake. Now a give and go. Hertl a 2-on-1. Hertl pulls. He shoots. Save! A point-blank save. Tomas Hertl stopped by Bussey. Still in the zone. A left wing shot. Korzak blocked. And it goes to the corner. Stankoven clears it out. Korzak gloves it down. Sticks it to Sissons. Back to Korzak. He lifts it into the O-zone. Riley Smith goes in on the forecheck. It was Hertl and Riley Smith with a pseudo rush. Here's an icing against Carolina. It ended up being an odd man situation, but just the way it developed, really there was no option for Hertl to pass. He almost had to shoot because Gostisbehere had gone down, so Hertl's back was to Riley Smith. He really could only shoot. Blake went down in front, but Bussey made the save on Hertl.
It was in pretty close by the time he got to shoot it, and Bussey is a big guy, covers a lot of net.
Bussey stands at 6'4", 218 pounds. Will turn 28 years old later this month. From the North Shore of Long Island, Vegas wins the draw. McNabb reaches to hold the zone, but then his pass gets tipped over the short glass and out of play. O-zone draw will be next for the Knights. 15:20 to go, second period. Carolina 1, Vegas 0. Now that breakaway opportunity again, it wasn't a full-on breakaway. It was sort of a 2-on-2 in transition. One of the better scoring chances of the game for the Golden Knights. Riley Smith was looming, hoping that the rebound would come his way. Riley has 5 goals in 10 career Stanley Cup final games. Today is first playoff game since Game 6 of the first round. Carolina gets the puck after the D-zone draw for the Hurricanes. Staal floats it to the corner. Keandre Miller centers off Eichel's skate. Hart dives out with his glove, covers it up for the whistle. Carolina will get an O-zone draw. Opening 5-minute second period. Hurricanes lead at 1-0 in Game 6.
Vegas continues to go to this Marner, Eichel, and Stone alignment. It hasn't been successful, and to me, it's disruptive more than anything else. I don't understand it.
The Knights, of course, have found great success. Carlson centering Howden and Marner. But with Carlson's injury last game, John Tortorella and staff have had to adjust things. And again, as you say, Marner playing up with Eichel and Stone, it just has not generated much. There's a Walker shot from the left wing draw. Shot attempt was blocked. Walker gets it back and rims it behind. Hanifin knocks it loose at the right goal line, but can't clear the zone. Walker right point, rims it back down low. Robinson pinched off by Anderson. Though Hanifin clears the zone, this will make it down for an icing. 14:45 to go, second period. Hurricanes in the lead 1-0. Just the temptation of Marner and Eichel together is too hard to pass up. And it's why at the beginning of the season, the Golden Knights played Marner and Eichel together quite a bit just to see what it would look like, how they might try to find some chemistry. Bottom line was it did work. On the power play, they were productive in the regular season. Knights had one of the best power plays in team history. Finished 6th in the league at 24.6%. That was the second highest percentage in club history. Marner and Eichel would be part of it. But at 5-on-5, it just does not click for those two guys together. Here comes Nick Dowd, finding a bouncing puck at the O line. And all the way down to the left corner with the puck. Hoping for Cole Smith, but it's Bowman to find it. Hanifin shoots wide right. Bouncer Svechnikov couldn't clear it. Anderson knocked it down. A second try. Aho does clear it. Anderson knocks down a bouncing puck at center and dumps it back in as the Knights' fourth line begins to change. Line changes brought to you by William Hill. Hurricanes right to left, and it's sent in on Carter Hart, who gloves it, leaves it in play. Korzak behind his net, stick handling, and now dishes to Rasmus Anderson. Plays it through center and down, tipped in by Marner. Hurricanes recover it. Korzak and Marner go to it on the near boards. Blake tried to pitch it out, and Marner got it in the face. It's a 2-on-1 the other way, and a shot high and wide. On a 2-on-1, Marner sends it blindly ahead. Barbashev gets it. Barbashev pulls and shoots wide. He was stood up, hoping it would either come on goal or maybe get to Howden, who was closing in. Now a point shot save. It came up high and hit somebody here to mask a Bussy. And on a clearing attempt, Lozon a hard check. Got a whistle and an icing against Carolina. Shoving afterward at Stankoven and Lozon. Stankoven standing at 5'8", 170 pounds. And Lozon having some words with referee Jean Hébert. And Jean Hébert saying, you might have been close to an interference penalty there. You're lucky I didn't call it. That's what I presume the conversation was about. Puck was gone. Lozon still hit Stankoven at his own blue line.
Maybe a little bit of a break there from Jean Hébert.
Garrett ranked the other referee. Each team whistled for 2 minors so far in the game, but nothing yet in the second period. Carolina's goal was at even strength. Hurricanes win a D-zone draw. Hurricanes in front 1-0, 13:20 to go second period. Hurricanes get it through center, and the dump-in goes right corner. Theodore grabs it behind his net. Ahead for Dorofeev, left for McNabb, who lugs it out. Back to the right, Dorofeev carries in. Down the right boards. Dorofeev tied up by Keandre Miller, the defenseman, and a loose puck corralled in the defensive zone for the Hurricanes. Blake lifts it to center. Stolen by McNabb in the neutral zone. Eichel ahead for Stone. Stone taps it left. Put Dorofeev in a tough spot, so he had to just push it into the corner. Hurricanes get it out of the corner. McNabb pinching in, kept it alive to Dorofeev. The centering pass came towards Stone. Got a whistle. Might have penalty here. Let's see. Referee puts hands up as Ehlers reaching for his chin. I'm not sure that there's going to be a penalty here at all. The referee just sort of pointed toward the left wing circle. Does not appear as though there's an imminent announcement. He's just putting his hands up with all 5 fingers outstretched on both hands and signaling to the Knights bench. We have immediate timeout. 12:46 to go. Second period. Carolina 1, Vegas 0 in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Stick with us. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
California's #1 casino just got better. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is now the only AAA 5-diamond rated casino hotel in the country. Become a Club Serrano member today and enjoy perks and exclusive rewards. VIP at another casino? Trade up and take advantage of the tier and offer match program at Yamava Resort and Casino, voted #1 casino outside of Vegas by Newsweek. You in? Details at Yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the rewards program that loves it when you date night, bet the perfect parlay, lounge poolside, shiatsu, bottle service. Yeah, hit me. Shop till you drop, and then some. Earn and redeem on countless amazing experiences at MGM Resorts. This is MGM Rewards. Why be a guest when you can be a member? Visit MGMRewards.com for more. Earning and redemption limitations may apply to certain purchases in certain states.
When I brought the Golden Knights to Vegas, I wanted to create something unique for Nevada. High Ground Vodka is made from estate-grown rye and Sierra Nevada snowmelt for a smooth finish. It's hard to make it this way, but we want to do it right. Distilled in Minden, Nevada, High Ground is an exceptional Nevada-born vodka and proud partner of our hard-working hockey team. If you're 21 or over, I hope you give High Ground Estate Vodka a taste.
Back to the Stanley Cup playoffs with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Almost halfway through regulation, just 1 goal so far, which is a little bit different than what we've become accustomed to in this series. It was 1-1 at this juncture in Game 5, but then the Hurricanes got power play goal to go up 2-1, and a blink later it was 3-1 Hurricanes. So far in this one, each team's power play 0 for 2. Taylor Hall's goal at 3:47 of the first was at even strength. Hall sort of cherry-picking at the offensive blue after the Knights turned it over at the Carolina blue. Hall from Slavin and Blake. After the media timeout, Carolina pressured in its own zone. Mark Stone is joined by Jack Eichel on the forecheck as Hurdle had been out there to take the draw, went right to the bench. Time enough for his teammates to get the puck. Now it's back to the Vegas blue. Stone sets up Eichel speeding ahead. Knocked off his stick at the blue line, and Theodore forced to dump it in. Eichel will stay on. Marner and Stone go in on the forecheck. Stone lands a hit, but the Hurricanes clear it out. Korzak dumps it back in. Just now, Stone gets to center as that group heads off. Night start of the day, Eichel centering Stone and Dorofeev. Howden centering Barbashev and Marner. But we've seen a lot of Marner playing up with Eichel and Stone, and has not worked very much for the Knights. Hurdle from his own zone, give and go with Korzak to gain center. Hurdle up to center ice. Did he get to the red line? He did not. It is an icing against Vegas. Hurdle tried to dump it in and get it to Riley Smith, who was flying into the zone, who had to be onside. Also get to the red line. Just the timing not there for Vegas. Riley Smith playing with Colton Sissons and Tomas Hurdle. Braden Bowman making his playoffs debut alongside Nick Dowd and Cole Smith. Carlson out because of injury. Keegan Colasar a healthy scratch. Then on the blue line, Dylan Conklin a healthy scratch after playing 13 straight games. And then Caden Korzak back in. This is his 13th game of the playoffs. First game of the final. 1-0 Hurricanes. Under 12 minutes to go, second period. Hurricanes win the draw, left wing. Gostisbehere gets around Riley Smith. Riley lifted the stick, so Gostisbehere couldn't do much with it. Puck ends up in the near corner. Sissons played it ahead. To center it goes. Hurdle tied up, trying to pump the loose puck in. Ends up on a Carolina stick. Dump in, got tipped, so no icing for the Hurricanes. Korzak coming back, using the near wall, connects with Lozon. Forward to Tomas Hurdle, right wing boards. Helps toward the line, but Vegas couldn't get it in. 2-on-1 for the Hurricanes. Hall misses Stankoven. And a late developing 2-on-1. He couldn't get a pass or a shot. Vegas coming back out. Right wing, it's Tomas Hurdle to dump it in. Counterclockwise around the boards. First shoot comes from Riley Smith, and now Nick Dowd. Dowd dealing with two Hurricanes. And now Bowman comes in. Puck is up against the yellow kick plate, and it's whipped out by the Hurricanes. Down it goes. Will it be an icing? Yes. 10:50 to go in the second, and a 1-0 Hurricanes lead. Ozone draw coming for the Knights.
Now, Vegas has not had a lot going offensively. They've a couple shots this period, but nothing super dangerous. One really good save from Bussey, but
3 shots aside this period. 14-11 for Vegas overall. And as we mentioned earlier, 7 of their 14 shots have come on the power play. Dowd, Bowman, and Cole Smith up front. Anderson and Hannafin to lead. Here comes the draw on the right side. Won by Stankoven. Hurricanes in their own zone. Breakout pass diagonally left through center. Walker with Hall. Centering try was blocked. Knights defenders in good position there. Now they break out. Down, back for Anderson, left for Hannafin. Banks it in, poked all the way to the corner by Cole Smith. Down works his way there. But the Hurricanes outnumber the Knights. Cole Smith lines up a check. Puck was just a beat late. Carolina gets it out. Theodore and McNabb now defend. Down a hard hit far corner on Jarvis. Puck is in the far corner. Dowd and McNabb for the Knights try to get it away from Seth Jarvis. Stahl, the captain of the Hurricanes, trying to fish it out too. Scrum moves into the trapezoid. Stahl wins the board battle and put it out high for Slavin. Returns it for Hall. Hall back for Slavin at the left point. Looking. Passes across to the right. Returned left for Slavin. Right now Dowd is without a stick. On the near side curling, it's Nikolai Ehlers. Scanning the slot. Ehlers hands it off to Slavin. Dishing out to the right, Chatfield. Threw it toward the net, blocked by Theodore, goes behind. Several players reaching, Knights cannot clear. Slavin holds left point. Walks right. Lefty opens up. Passes left. Ehlers back to the right side. Chatfield shoots. Deflected out of play.
Braden McNabb lost his stick, and then Nick Dowd gave him his stick. Braden was playing with a wrong-handed stick. Braden's a lefty, and he was given a right-handed stick.
Timeout with 9:23 to go, second period. No goals on 14 shots for the Knights. 1 goal on 11 shots for the Hurricanes. Back in a moment. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Your Vegas Golden Knights try to elevate hockey to an art form. Similarly, the team at Toshiba America Business Solutions empowers the art of business with award-winning copiers, printers, document management solutions, and digital signage that help you engage and delight your customers. As an official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights, Toshiba America Business Solutions works overtime to make you and your documents look good. And with the best service in town, you'll never find your business in the penalty box. Look for us at business.toshiba.com. Toshiba, official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Ouch! Checked from behind. Man, that's gotta hurt. I'd hire Morgan & Morgan if I were them. What? Yeah, Dan, America's largest injury law firm. They serve up justice, ice, cold, law. Know what I mean? I guess. Their gloves come off when they fight for you. Okay. I'm talking a settlement slap shot. Shouldn't we be talking about the game? Yeah, Dan, Morgan & Morgan.
Official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Going on vacation? We're here for it. With kids who turn the back seat into a courtroom drama over whose tablet is louder, whose charger is faster, and why watching the same cartoon for the 100th time is a human right? Yep, we totally have vehicles to handle that. Because whether it's a road trip or a business trip, where your flight's delayed, your phone's at 2%, and your dinner, whatever's open, yeah, here for that too. Enterprise, we're here for it.
Back to the Fortress for more Stanley Cup playoff action.
Carolina 1, Golden Knights 0. 9:23 to go, second period. Knights must win to keep the season alive. Not since the 2011 Boston Bruins, as a team trailing 3-2 in a Stanley Cup final, come back to win. They won Game 7 in Vancouver to win the Stanley Cup back in 2011. Carolina with the puck in the offensive zone. Knights pressure, and a Marner clearing pass does get to center, but Carolina dumps it back in. Korzak headed back, takes the check along the boards. Puck, and it comes around to the near side. Marner finds it and put it behind for Lozon. Skated out. He tried to skate it out. Instead, he put it up the boards. Now we got a whistle. Like puck was across the blue line and back, and bring the draw to center ice. With under 9 minutes to go in the second period.
Korzak's done a nice job so far, Dan, being inserted into this series at a very tense moment. Been quick back to get the puck and made good decisions. Pinched a little bit at the offensive end, judiciously. Vegas needs someone to make a play. Carolina is not generating very much at all right now. Stuck at 11 shots.
Goals in this series favor the Hurricanes, 22-18, including today. Knights with the puck at the offensive blue, knocked off Riley Smith's stick. Picked up by the Knights. Sisson's in pursuit. They get it around, and from the near corner, Hurricanes send it out. Hannafin from his own blue. Forward to Riley Smith from his own red, from his side of the red line. He dumped it in. It's an icing. It's over 7 minutes for the Knights without a shot on goal. Then Riley Smith in his 124th career playoff game. 11th in the Stanley Cup final. 5 goals and 4 assists in Stanley Cup final appearances for Riley Smith. It has not been in the last 15 games for the Knights. A healthy scratch in the entirety of the second and third rounds in the first 5 games of this series. Ozone draw 1 for the Hurricanes. Jankowski. Walker banks it behind for William Carrier. Around to Tomas Hertl, who couldn't find it. Hannafin couldn't find it either. Now it deflects into the slot. Glove down. Riley Smith banks it off the right boards and in. Walker couldn't clear. Smith, hard check on Walker, right corner. But the Hurricanes clear. This will go down and wide of the goal. Race for the puck. It is an icing. I told you about a couple of big assists that Riley Smith had in the first round against Utah. Most notably, Game 5 with the Knights down a goal. Primary assist on Pavel Dorofiev's tying goal, which made it 4-4. And then Brett Howden won Game 5 in double overtime. They also think back, Gary, for the 2 goals that Riley had Game 3 of round 2 in Edmonton last year. Remember, the Knights only had 1 win in that series. He scored the game winner with 1 second left. Puck is in the offensive zone after the icing for Vegas. Dorofeev, Stone, and Eichel out there, but Carolina gets the clear. Banked in by Carrier. Theodore headed back, taken to the glass by his former teammate Carrier. On the retrieval, it's Dorofeev to play it out. Eichel and Stone. Eichel carves ahead, lost it at the blue. Stone pushes it in. Stone trying to feed the slot, but didn't get there. From the blue line, Theodore pinches in. Dorofeev shoots. Missed the short side post. Martinook has the rebound and clears it out. Back at his own blue, Theodore. His pass got tipped at the line. It's an offside play.
Theodore, Eichel and Stone kind of going back and forth with it, and Dorofeev gets a shot on goal. It might be kind of off the post, but I'd leave Pav out there. He's had shots. Keep him with Stone and Eichel. They need a shooter on that line. Marner doesn't shoot.
Dorofeev with 12 goals in the postseason. 2 last game. Only Brett Howden has more. Knights get the puck on the breakout. Hannafin's forward pass gets tipped out of play. Neutral zone face-off coming up in Whittier.
We'll find out at some point when all of this is said and done what injuries are out there. But Noah Hannafin, who's normally an excellent skater, is laboring a little bit, Dan.
Remember, he was one of the players that has skipped some of the optional skates. Hannafin has gone 39 games without a goal. Knights get the puck in. Hannafin and Anderson had been separated for a time in this series, but reunited for the last couple of games. Hannafin in front of the Carolina bench. Lost the puck. Pressure from Stankoven gets it in for the Hurricanes. Hannafin battling to try to get it back, but Stankoven took it away. Feet out in front, off some skates, and a shot attempt saved. Rebound off the side of the goaltender. Stankoven in front of shot. Score! Jackson Blake. A broken play. The Hurricanes win the board battle, and they take a 2-0 lead. Jackson Blake, 7th of the playoffs, makes it 2-0 Hurricanes. 6:29 to go in the second period of Game 6.
Hannafin has a couple of chances to move it, and he's unable to, and then he takes his stick and slams it. He tried to move it up the wall to Barbashev. He couldn't get it through. Stankoven kept it in, and eventually Jackson Blake with the goal, and Carter Hart looks small and deep in the net on this one.
Hannafin a couple of times had an opportunity to make a play. The last one, both Hannafin and Marner reach for the loose puck. Just instinct takes over. You see the puck 5 feet away from the right post. Your instinct is to do something, so you reach. Hannafin and Marner both reached for it, but in essence, Hannafin played it right to the opposing player. And now Carolina has a 2-0 lead. That is the first time they have scored a second period goal in this building. Knights had scored 6 times and allowed none at T-Mobile Arena during the second period of this series. Overall, the Knights have been +6 in the Stanley Cup Final during the second period. 9-3, but make it 9-4. It's Jackson Blake with his second goal of the Stanley Cup Final. Knights dump it in, no icing. Bowman to it with Dowd, and then Cole Smith. Stahl shovels it up the boards. It'll trickle back to the Vegas side. Korzak put it into the linesman. Lausanne forward. Cole Smith couldn't do much with it. Ehlers pitches it in the air toward Carter Hart. Bounces into the near corner. Korzak chased by Jarvis. Steals it away from Korzak. Jarvis yanks it to Svechnikov down in the corner. Centering pass shot. Save. It's under Hart. And the whistle does blow. Garner was looking underneath himself. Puck was under the pads, and Aho trying to reach in and get it. Referee did blow his whistle eventually. But another lost assignment in the defensive zone for the Golden Knights. Svechnikov sets up Aho. Blake from Stankoven at 13:31, the second goal for the Hurricanes. Jackson Blake scores his 10th career playoff goal, his 34th playoff game. Knights have come back from multi-goal deficits a couple of times here in this postseason, including once here in the Stanley Cup Final. They'll have to do it again today to keep their season alive. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor, it's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Calling all Vegas Golden Knights fans, hockey is back, and the RTC Game Day Express is your road to victory this season. For just $4 round trip, get a direct, fast, and easy ride to T-Mobile Arena from 6 convenient locations around the valley. Break away from traffic hassles and leave the driving to us. Visit rtcsnv.com/Game Day Express for details. Don't forget to follow us on social media, RTCSNV, for your chance to win tickets to VGK home games.
Every day, we wake up to endless possibilities. And for almost 100 years, Southwest Gas has been there, helping build the kinds of relationships that turn neighborhoods into communities, houses into homes, and big dreams into reality. We're fueling everyday life with energy service that's reliable, affordable, and most importantly, safe. Because at Southwest Gas, we're not just delivering energy service, we're fueling the moments that matter most.
So, how can Enterprise pick Golden Knights fans up today? Well, say you want to take a playoff road trip. Enterprise has you covered. Or get a truck to haul your Golden Knights memorabilia to your new fan cave. Well, they do that too. Rent an exotic for a potential victory parade? Check. Well, what about buying any of the above? Yes, yes, and yes. Rent, buy, or share. Enterprise, official partner of the NHL, is the one place to go for every place life takes you.
Back to the Stanley Cup Playoffs with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Hurricanes have taken a 2-0 lead. Hall in the first, Blake in the second. Knights have no goals on 14 shots. Hurricanes with 2 goals now on 14 shots themselves. They've outshot Vegas 6-3 in this period. Knights get it to the O-zone. Hurricanes took it away in the slot. They go ahead 3-on-2 at the line. Backhand centering tried by Stankoven did not connect. It went to the left corner. Played out by Riley Smith. Finds Hurdle. Carries it into the zone. Trying to get through the right circle. Chatfield defense. Hurdle double teamed. He passes to the line, but Theodore could not hold it in. Sends it left to Anderson as the Knights work it back to their own blue. Theodore scans center. Rips it forward near the Knights bench. It got away from Hurdle as he guides it in. Eichel lost his stick trying to reach and getting it back for the Knights. Carolina dumps it in. Tipped all the way down. Right wing boards. Hart behind his net. Sets up Anderson. Makes the clearing pass forward. Barbashev knocked away from Stone at the Carolina side. And it's Hall, a stall to tip it along, and a shot fought off by Hart. Rebound side of the goal. It ends up behind. Stahl and Ehlers combining for that opportunity. Eichel backs his way to center and then had it knocked off his stick by Svechnikov. And the Hurricanes get it back, and the crowd groaning at that. Battle is down in the left corner for the Hurricanes. They get the puck. Feed to the point. Miller put it down the boards. It deflects to the weak side. Cleared out by the Golden Knights. Barbashev ahead toward Eichel. Couldn't come into the zone cleanly. Icing waved off on the Hurricanes' dump in. It got tipped at center. Coming up on the final 4 minutes of the second period, 2-0 Hurricanes. Knights have erased multi-goal deficits 8 times in their playoff history. Here they come, hounded on the right. Opened up, looked to center, but it was knocked off his stick by Slavin as Mitch Marner tries to get it back to the Knights on the left wing. McNabb and Dorofeev trying to work, and now the loose puck knocked out from his knees, cleared out by Chatfield. Puck ends up deep in the Vegas zone. Korzak with McNabb. It's played out to center, and Dorofeev knocked off of his stick. And the Hurricanes dump it back in. Hurricanes are just a beat faster on everything right now, Gary.
They are playing with confidence, and and they don't have to force any offense.
McNabb to Howden, comes in, hands it off. Dorofeev with a shot attempt, stopped by the goaltender, Bussey. Knights had gone about 12 minutes without a shot on goal. That attempt right there might have gone wide. I'm not sure if they'll count it as a shot or not, but at least it was an attempt. Anderson up to the red left wing, dumps it in. Clockwise around the boards. Dorofeev and Down get to it. Down, looking pointward, tipped away from Anderson, and penalty coming up against the Golden Knights. Anderson for interference on Robinson.
Obvious penalty.
Yep, right in front of the referee as well. And the Hurricanes will go to the power play for the third time today, already leading 2-0.
Las Vegas number 4, minor penalty, interference.
Eric Robinson celebrating his 31st birthday. And if things go well over the next 23 minutes for the Hurricanes, I suppose that June 14th will no longer be a birthday to celebrate. It'll be a Stanley Cup to celebrate. But still, 23 minutes at least to go in this game. But the Knights trail by 2, and now they are shorthanded for 2 minutes. Carolina's power play is 6 for 18 in the series. They were 2 for 5 in Game 5. They're 0 for 2 today. Svechnikov with a pair of power play goals last game. It's up to 4 power play goals in the playoffs. 3 power play goals in this series for Svechnikov of the 6 as a team. Knights clear it out. All the way down it goes. Penalty killers for the Knights. Lauzon, McNabb, plus Cole Smith and Colton Sissons. Hurricanes going right to left. Pass to the Vegas line, mishandled by Svechnikov. Carolina will double back into its own zone. Sissons goes off, replaced by Marner. Marner has 4 shorthanded assists in the postseason. Knights would love one of those right here. Carolina has not surrendered a shorthanded goal in the playoffs. Carolina gets it in the O-zone. Feed comes to the middle, extra pass, diving glove save! Hart to his left. One-timer by Aho, deep on the right side. Carter tracked it really well from deep on the left to the mid-slot and then around to the right side. And the attempt might have been going wide right from Aho, but Carter got over there to make the save. His body was in position to have made the save, and though the attempt might have gone wide right, he makes the glove save anyhow.
I'm not sure. It might have hit the post or been just wide right.
Yeah, it's very close.
Yeah, very close. He needed to make the save.
Oh, for sure. Point is, he got over there.
Yeah, 100%.
Knights dump it in with a minute and change to go in this power play for Carolina. 2 minutes to go, second period. Pressure on the forecheck. Howden and Marner reaching. They couldn't quite get it inside the blue, but Marner does play it at center ice shorthanded. Setting up Howden coming in to Marner on the right, back in front. Howden stick lifted, and he couldn't get his stick down to play the puck. Ehlers defending Howden, and Howden unable to make a play there on a give and go with Marner shorthanded. We talked about a moment ago. Now the Hurricanes come in, power play 35 seconds. Dish left, broken up, Stone the other way, but he lost it at center. Stankoven from his own blue. Theodore disrupting the play on the near boards. It comes back to the center logo. Nikishin, the defenseman, sends it right. A Blake shot comes on, saved by Hart. Try to rip it to center. It's a high touch against Carolina. That stops play. It'll bring the draw to center.
Carter's lucky that's not in the back of the net. He had a kind of bunch of people right beside him, and you're trying to do everything. Sometimes you try to do a little too much. He just needed to hand that off over to one of his defensemen and let them do the work.
Draw just outside the Vegas blue line. 18 seconds left on the penalty to Rasmus Anderson. Stahl against Dow. The most veteran players on each roster. Stahl is 37, turns 38 in September. McDowell just turned 36 years old a couple of weeks ago. Carolina wins the neutral zone draw. Minute 10 to go in the period. Hurricanes dump it in. Power play for them at 10 seconds. Anderson standing in the box. Battle for the puck continues on the near boards. Final minute of the period brought to you by Credit One. 1 to go. Penalty released. 1 shot on that Carolina power play. Penalty kill brought to you by Just Ingredients. Hurricanes are 0 for 3 in today's game with a man up. They are 6 for 19 in the series. Power play goals in each of the last 4 games. Knights get the puck from behind their goal. Lozon lifts it out. Glove down at center by Cole Smith. He sticks it in. 30 seconds to go in the middle period. Carolina got 1 in the first and 1 in the second. Knights have no goals on 14 shots against Brandon Bussey, who won 31 out of 39 in the regular season, but did not make a Stanley Cup playoff appearance until this series. Carolina dumps it in with 12 seconds to go in the period. Bussey suffered the double overtime loss in Game 3, but has started and won Games 4 and 5, surrendering 5 goals in those 2 games and none yet today. Second period comes to a close. Bussey will take a shutout to the 3rd period in a Stanley Cup final clinching scenario. Nice finish that period with 3 shots on goal. 14 for the game. No shots over the final 15:43 of the second period. Carolina had 8 shots in the first, 8 shots in the second, for a game total of 16. So add them up, 16-14 the shots for Carolina. Vegas power play 0 for 2. Carolina power play 0 for 3. Hurricanes lead 2-0 after 40 minutes. They are 20 minutes away from a Stanley Cup championship.
Yeah, we were talking about Noah Hannafin, and statistician extraordinaire Ray LeBeff tells me it was Game 3. He got hurt in the second period. Didn't play the final 11:34 of that period, and then did return for the 3rd period, but Noah has not been hasn't been himself ever since. So that's become apparent. Golden Knights have 20 minutes to go to force a Game 7. They need 3 goals at least, 2 to get it even, and maybe force overtime, or if they can get 3 to flip this game on its head. It's happened a lot in this series, although Vegas did not generate very much. They got stuck on that. How long did they go without a shot?
15:43 to close the period.
Yeah, so that's Carolina being in the lead and being able to play the way they want to, with a very careful and cautious approach. They not turning the puck over at all, not giving Vegas any transition chances, and the Golden Knights, as we know, are reluctant to dump the puck in. They don't like doing it, and I think that's what they're going to have to do, have to figure that out in the 3rd period.
It's been a lot of one-and-dones for the Knights today. They've had minimal offensive zone time. They have had a couple of chances on the rush, but have not converted yet today. Let's go downstairs to the Knights dressing room, and let's welcome Tomas Hertl to the broadcast. Tomas, Dan and Gary up in the booth, thanks for joining us. What do you make of today's game so far?
Yeah, it's obviously tough to be down 2-0, but we have some opportunities, and some chances, but we have to get back out of the game, we can't panic. We still have 20 minutes, we've been one of the best team in 3rd periods, and we don't want to play the last 20 minutes, so we have to just put everything into it.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you get to Bussey? Is it traffic? Is it shooting more, trying to get rebounds? What do you want to do?
I think shooting more. We have some opportunity, but I don't think so we're shooting enough and we have to find a way to get the rebounds. I think every shot is right there. There's a lot of pucks laying, we just can get it the second opportunities. I think there was a lot of chances to be better around the net. There is pucks laying down, so we have to dial in for more for that.
No one wants the season to end. How do you get positive and build a little confidence in your room here during the intermission?
Yeah, we've been so many all season. It was a lot of ups and downs. We're strong team. We know it's 2-0 is the worst lead in the hockey. And we need just to get one and we'll be fine. But we have to for sure play better than last 10 minutes the second.
Knights have had a couple of multi-goal comeback wins, and Tomas Hertl, our guest, has the game winner in both of them. Tomas, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Tomas Hertl, as we recall, the 2-goal comeback, Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Hertl winning that one. And a 3-goal comeback, the only 3-goal comeback in team history. That was Game 3 against Colorado. And the Knights have had some leads erased for them and against them. Obviously, the 4-0 lead that they had, that they gave up, the most drastic of this postseason, but they still managed to win that game despite blowing the 4-goal lead. And again, the only 3-goal comeback was Game 3 against Colorado. They had that 2-goal comeback earlier in this series, Game 1 against Carolina. So keep an eye on the Knights' comeback chances. In the regular season, the Knights, as Tomasz pointed out, best goal differential in the league, plus 47. In the playoffs, though, it's been plus 2. And in this series, minus 7. Carolina has outscored Vegas 11-4 in the third period of the Stanley Cup Final. Knights will have to dig back to their regular season mindset to come back in this one. Golden Knights have never come back from down 2 goals in the third period of a playoff game. They have had those comebacks, but it has never happened solely in the third period. 2-0 Carolina through 40 minutes of play in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Carolina can win it if they hold on. If the Knights come back, Game 7 in Raleigh, North Carolina on Wednesday the 17th. Ryan Wallace has the intermission report when we come back, presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
I feel like I'm getting robbed when I bet the Stanley Cup on a sports book.
Dude, delete that app. You need to be using Polymarket.
Polymarket?
Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for greedy sports books.
Even during the Stanley Cup?
Especially during the Stanley Cup. Polymarket is an official prediction market of the NHL.
No way. What's the catch?
No catch. And it's available in all 50 states. Polymarket is so confident you'll never go back, they're giving you $50 free on your first trade.
I'm deleting my sportsbook app. How do I get started?
Download Polymarket now and use promo code EPIC for $50 free on your first trade. Stop letting sportsbooks steal from you. Download Polymarket and use promo code EPIC for $50 free on your first trade. Use promo code EPIC. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
California's #1 casino just got better. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is now the only AAA 5-diamond rated casino hotel in the country. Become a Club Serrano member today and enjoy perks and exclusive rewards. VIP at another casino? Trade up and take advantage of the tier and offer match program at Yamava Resort and Casino, voted #1 casino outside of Vegas by Newsweek. You in? Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter.
Wow Car Wash is the official car wash of your Vegas Golden Knights. Born in Vegas just like the Knights, Wow Car Wash has 18 convenient locations across the valley. Wow gets you in and back on the road. Looking championship ready with our Wow Max with Knights Defense Wash. Wow knows to be the best, you'd have to look your best. Be sure to follow Wow Car Wash on Instagram for exclusive deals, promotions, and giveaways. For a list of all locations, visit wowwash.com.
It's game night at Raising Cane's. And we're serving the realm with a feast of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy, crinkle-cut fries, garlicky, buttered Texas toast, and cane sauce. Skate in before the puck drops or after the game stops. It's always nighttime at Cane's. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Go, Knights, go.
Hi, I'm attorney Adam Kuttner. I grew up playing hockey. To win in hockey, you have to be aggressive, you have to work hard, and you have to have a great team. And it's no different when I'm representing my clients in their personal injury cases. My team and I work hard to get you the maximum settlement as quickly as possible, because winning is everything.
If you've been injured in an accident, ask attorney Adam Kuttner, 702-382-0000. That's 382-0000.
One period left in regulation. Let's go to Ryan Wallace with the intermission report on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Fans, the RTC's Game Day Express service is just $4 round trip to Golden Knights home games from 6 convenient locations around the valley. For more information, visit rtcsnv.com today. The intermission report, the Golden Knights trail the Carolina Hurricanes 2-0 after 2 periods of play. Taking a look at the highlights in that second period. The Hurricanes extended their lead midway through the second period on Jackson Blake's 7th of the postseason.
Battling to try to get it back, but Stankoven took it away. He down in front off some skates and a shot attempt save. Rebound off the side of the goaltender. Stankoven in front, a shot, score! Jackson Blake, a broken play. The Hurricanes win the board battle, and they take a 2-0 lead.
Jackson Blake from Logan Stankoven, 13:31 of the second period, 2-0 Carolina. That's where we stand after 2 periods of play. We're back with more in a moment, presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Shane Heide here with
Darren Millard from the Vegas Golden Knights.
When it comes to luxury, no one does it better than Finley Cadillac in the Valley Auto Mall.
Plus, they have an exceptional service department with a team of highly skilled technicians. They go above and beyond to keep vehicles running smoothly.
Whether it's routine maintenance, repairs, or upgrades, they have you covered. Their team of experts provides top-notch service, ensuring your car stays in pristine condition.
Plus, Finley Cadillac in the Valley Auto Mall offers convenient pickup and delivery.
Visit them online at finleycadillac.com to schedule your appointment.
If you're considering purchasing a new or used Honda or need to service your current vehicle, go to the Name Las Vegas Trust for exceptional sales, service, and parts. Finley. Whether you're up north, down south, or somewhere in between, you're always just 15 minutes away from a Finley Honda store. Each location has friendly and knowledgeable sales and service professionals. So give us a call or stop in anytime. Finley Honda's been Centennial Hills and Finley Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall. The difference is in the name.
There's a difference you can feel when you step into the showroom at Finley Honda Henderson. Sure, our cars are beautiful, built to last, and our certified pre-owned inventory is one of the largest in the country. But the difference is our people. From the sales floor to the service department, we're focused on you. Because when you're the center of our attention, everybody wins. It may not be what you're used to, but we think it should be. Welcome to the difference at Finley Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line. NV Energy. This is what we do.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on an Accord or Accord Hybrid. New roads, great deals, a new Honda. Make every moment count with a new stylish and sophisticated Accord from the 2026 Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 4.49% APR on a 2026 Accord. Hurry into your Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details. Based on 2026 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Back to Ryan Wallace for his Stanley Cup Final Intermission Report.
The Golden Knights have launched VGK Pay, presented by America First Credit Union, as a centralized payment system within the official VGK mobile app. VGK Pay is the smart way to pay for concessions and team gear at T-Mobile Arena and the Arsenal at City National Arena. Fans are eligible to earn rewards known as Fortress Funds, and season ticket members can easily redeem their discounts when using VGK Pay. The VGK mobile app is available for iOS and Android devices in the App Store and Google Play stores. Team Mission Report, the Golden Knights trail the Carolina Hurricanes 2-0 after 2 periods of play here in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Stats of the period: shots 8-3. The edge to Carolina, hits 31-24 Vegas for the game. Carolina 0-3 on the power play. Vegas 0-2 on the man advantage. The Hurricanes, 7 giveaways, 6 takeaways, 6 block shots. Vegas, 10 giveaways, a single takeaway, and 7 block shots. For the Golden Knights in that second period, just not a lot of offensive zone time, not a lot of chances offensively to test Brandon Bussey. It just wasn't a strong period for the Golden Knights at all. And at times they looked a bit disjointed. There were different forward combinations all throughout that period from John Tortorella, trying to find the right pieces to put together to get something moving for the Golden Knights. Penalty kill, special teams, at least on the penalty kill side of things for the Golden Knights, been very, very strong tonight. Carter Hart, a couple of saves in that second period that you kind of hope, right, for his team will be a bit of a spark. But Vegas just getting in trouble when it comes to Carolina's forecheck, turning pucks over, making life a little bit more difficult on themselves than it needs to be, and that's really where Carolina was able to swarm and strike in the middle frame. Now, reality sets in a little bit. If you're a Golden Knight fan, reality sets in, I think, if you're a player, obviously, in this game, you've got to come through with 20 minutes, right? Like, for Vegas, it's that simple. They've got to go out and win this period, and they've got to do it by multiple goals. 2 or 3 preferably. Like, that's what's in front of the Golden Knights. And we talked about it in the pregame show. Everything about this team this year has built to this moment. Everything. They have been in this spot, in this position before, and more often than not, they have come back. They have come back and they have made it a game. They have come back and they have found a way to make things interesting. I have to believe they've got it in them one more time. I have to believe that there's something the Golden Knights are able to put forward in this third period to make this a game and extend this series to 7. So we'll see what they have in store for the third period. Third period action's coming up next. Dan and Gary, they've got the call, presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Vegas! On behalf of Knock the Injury Law, Golden Pipes, Carnell Johnson.
If you've been hurt, Knock me is the word. Call 702-INJURED.
Fahan Naqvi with Naqvi Injury Law. Imagine you've been injured in an accident. Now, do you want an assembly line law firm that treats you like a number and settles early for easy money? Hell no. Call me now for a free consultation at 702-INJURED.
Hey, Golden Knights fans, when we win, you win. That's because Buffalo Wild Wings is giving away 6 free wings with a $10 minimum purchase anytime the Golden Knights win a preseason, regular season, or playoff game. This Win for Wings promotion is valid for 2 days after each qualifying game at all B-Dub Sports Bar locations throughout the Vegas area. Get your 6 free wings on top of great drink specials, including some of the best happy hour and late night prices Vegas has to offer throughout hockey season at your local Buffalo Wild Wings, a proud partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
The legendary El Cortez Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas's original downtown hotspot since 1941. Play the slots, hit the tables, sip on classic cocktails, and enjoy hospitality the old school way. Experience the perfect mix of vintage Vegas charm and modern excitement that can't be found anywhere else. Whether you're here to stay, play, or dine, the good old days of Las Vegas are alive and well at El Cortez Hotel and Casino.
Since 1981, we've been raising every glass, serving all Nevada, making good times last. From wine to whiskey, beer and more, find your favorites at every store.
Lee's Discount Liquor,
Nevada's place to go.
Biggest selection, prices you love.
23 stores across the Silver State,
serving Nevada
since 1981.
Lee's Discount Liquor,
where Nevada celebrates.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the rewards program that loves it when you date night, bet the perfect parlay, lounge poolside, ooh, shiatsu, bottle service, yeah, hit me, shop till you drop, and then some. Earn and redeem on countless amazing experiences at MGM Resorts. This is MGM Rewards. Why be a guest when you can be a member? Visit MGMRewards.com for more. Earning and redemption limitations may apply to certain purchases in certain states.
Let's get back to Dan Duva and Gary Lawless for more Stanley Cup Finals action.
High above ringside at T-Mobile Arena in fabulous Las Vegas. Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final here on this Sunday, June the 14th. The Hurricanes lead the series 3-2. They lead Game 6 2-0 headed to the third period. If they hold on, it would bring the franchise a second Stanley Cup championship. They have not been to the final since they won it in 2006. Third trip to the final for this franchise, which started decades ago as the Hartford Whalers moved to North Carolina in '97. Rod Brindamore was the captain of the team that won it in '06 and has been the head coach now for the last 8 seasons. Inside the radio booth, I'm Dan Duva, alongside Golden Knights insider Gary Lawless. Gary is brought to us, as he has been all season long, by Finley Honda of Henderson.
Yeah, Finley Honda of Henderson, great friends of the Golden Knights and of this program and my family. They can be your friends too. Go see them. Finley Honda of Henderson.
Taylor Hall, the first goal of the game, his 7th of the postseason. Slavin and Blake assisted at 3:47 after the Knights lost it at the offensive blue. It was a semi-break for Hall, and then Jackson Blake on a shot that went in off Mitch Marner's stick. Made it 2-0 for the Hurricanes in the second period. Underway in the third, Knights right to left. Here's Jack Eichel looking to dish right as pass got deflected into the air. Carolina takes over. Keep an eye on configurations. It's Eichel on the ice with Barbashev and Dorothea. McNabb steps to a loose puck on the near side, but the Hurricanes break out. Aho guides it in. Theodore coming back. Takes the check, played it out to Dorothea, coming off a 2-goal game. Eichel lost it coming out of his own zone. It ends up deep behind the Knights net. McNabb and Theodore there once more. Airborne clear by Theodore. Chatfield went to a knee to knock it down. Couldn't get control, but it goes back to his partner Slavin. Forward on the right to Blake. Takes a check from Lauzon. Puck goes down behind the Knights net. Anderson using the near boards to get it out. Here comes Mark Stone out with Sissons and Hurdle. Stone gets through, makes the pass, blocked. And it goes around behind and the crowd groaning at that. Can't believe that Stone didn't shoot it as an icing call comes against against Carolina. Mark Stone biting his lip and barking a little bit at himself. He had made a beautiful move to get through Taylor Hall, but Brandon Bussey gave him no space on that right wing side. Remember, Bussey catches with his right hand, so we got big with the blocker near the right post. But Stone elected to pass it. The pass attempt came nowhere close to Colton Sissons. He had 2 Carolina players in between. After the drop, Howden on the ice with Riley Smith and Mitch Marner. Cleared out by the Hurricanes. Theodore retrieves, but loses an edge in his own zone. Gets up, whips it out to Riley Smith, and it's angled all the way in. Back goes Sean Walker. Pressured by Howden, created a loose puck, side of the net. Deflects to the right corner for Riley Smith. Trying to hand it off to Marner. Got by him. Marner again. Couldn't get it into the right circle cleanly. Out to the right point off a tip. Anderson there for the Knights. He throws it down low. The Hurricanes get it and clear it up the near boards. Theodore back alongside Anderson. Theodore's forward pass goes in off Marner, sticking all the way down. We haven't seen Noah Hannafin since the second Carolina goal. In pursuit, Braden Bowman with Cole Smith and Nick Dowd. Knights defense, Korzak and McNabb. Carolina sends it in off the high glass behind the net. Carrier using the boards to try to bank it to Robinson. The Knights get it anyway, and McNabb skates to center. McNabb up to the center red, dumps it in right corner. Just over 2 minutes gone by third period. Hurricanes in the lead 2-0 in Game 6. They could win the Stanley Cup today. Forward pass tipped in by William Carrier, and it's out of play behind the Knights net.
You know, you play, guys that are hurt play until they hurt the team. And you don't blame Noah Hannafin at all for trying to gut it out and help his team in a must-win situation. But if he's too hurt to play up to his capability, you got to make decisions. And so far, they're going with 5 defensemen here in the third.
He did take one shift after the goal, but that came late in the second period.
Noah's playing hurt.
It is evident that Hannafin's not at 100%. Knights get the puck in their own zone. Anderson rims it around for Stone. Connects with Sissons through center. Sissons checked as he enters the zone. He put it toward the goal, and Bussey goes to play it behind his net. Stone, and then Hurdle, who's lost a stick on the play. So Stone's got to make an area pass to the right wing, hoping his teammates can get to it. Stone himself gets to the puck, hands it off. Here's a shot. Blocker saved Bussey, as Ivan Barbashev stepped into that once. Rebound, and Anderson's centering pass got tipped out high. Lauzon shoots, blocked in the left circle by Jarvis. Rim around, held in by Stone. Saucer pass left. Lauzon trying to take it off the wall, but Ehlers beats him to the puck. They get locked up. It goes through center. Jarvis one-on-one. He shoots, save. It's in the paraphernalia of Carter Hart, but he gets on top of the puck for the whistle.
Every shot on Carter is you're left holding your breath if you're a Golden Knights fan. The next one that goes in has to be a Golden Knights goal at this stage. Still lots of time left, but Vegas has got to find a way to get one by Bussey.
In the regular season, Bussey, the rookie, had 2 shutouts of his 31 wins. Last year in the American League, 5 shutouts for the Providence Bruins. Signed with the Florida Panthers over the summer, but was placed on waivers in October and claimed by the Hurricanes on October 5th. And he has been a revelation for this club. So Freddie Anderson was the guy for most of the playoffs. It's been Bussey starting the last 3 games. Knights get the puck. Here's a stretch pass. Eichel will get ahead of the play to negate the icing. Gets to it in the left corner, but he's double-teamed, and the Hurricanes take it away. Clears on the near side. McNabb cuts it off. Now it tumbles back to the Vegas Blue. Knights credited with 1 shot in this period, putting it into the stretch of nearly 16 minutes of time without a shot on goal. Up to 15 for the game. 1 shot this period, 3 in the second, 11 in the first. Carolina sends it in, another icing. Knights will go to the O-zone, and they'll be able to pick up an O-zone draw with the personnel that they want. Barbashev's shot at 18:39 for the duration. Came at 2:56 here in the third period.
Hannafin's out here to take a shift. It's an offensive zone draw.
Yeah, good point. Certain situations when you can spot him in the offensive zone. So it's Hannafin and Theodore together for this shift. Hannafin's first shift of the period. Just about 4 minutes in. Carolina clears it out. Hannafin and Theodore back to their own zone. A quick retrieval. Forward pass to Brett Howden, who sends it in. DeAndre Miller coming back. Leaves it for Stankoven. Around and out it goes. Howden backs it up. Hannafin forward on the left to Marner. Backhands it to the corner. Marner still leading all players in points. 29 of them. 7 better than second place. Jack Eichel at 22. Lifted out by the Hurricanes. Theodore from the zone blue. Played it forward. Kicked by Riley Smith, but knocked away from Brett Howden. Knights get it in their own zone again. Theodore with Hannafin. Forward to Howden. Backward to Theodore as everybody changes for the Knights, except for Theodore. Line changes brought to you by William Hill. Knights lose it on the breakout. McNabb is back in his own zone, steers it behind as Eichel and Theodore get crossed up. Puck is to the near boards. Carrier on the forecheck. Theodore clears it out, bouncing puck out away from Dorothea. It's over and back to laid offside. Knights have tagged up. Chatfield going back behind his goal. 5 minutes gone in the third period. 2-0 Carolina. Hurricanes send it down. It's another icing. Now they're just playing a game of keep away here as much as they can. Meanwhile, on the Carolina bench, Logan Stankoven grimacing and fighting hard on his mouth guard, and his athletic trainer coming to check on him. Hard to tell exactly what he's favoring, but clear pain on the Carolina bench.
Well, everybody right now has something wrong with them. You're talking about 100 games plus.
104 for Vegas, 101 for Carolina. Yeah. After the draw, Hurricanes dump it in. Hurdle coming through center. Mark Stone. Extra games for Stone and all the other Olympians, too. Yeah. 3 weeks, of course, over in Italy. Hurricanes get it in. Korzak coming back, his first appearance in the final. Healthy scratch the last 5 games. Deep in his own zone, McNabb needing some puck support. They get it to the line, but not out. Slavin steps up to the blue to chip it back to the corner. That group of Hurricanes heads off.
The Golden Knights have nobody going right now, and as a result, Tortorella has really jumbled the lines, and you wonder how much chemistry is able to develop at this point in time, because they look a little jumbled right now.
Knights just trying to get out of their own zone with the puck right now. This time they get it out. Hurricanes take it away at their own blue, and now it's a dump in by Lauzon. On goal, Bussey leaves it in play. Pressure by Bowman, tipped it in front, but Bussey secures it before a shot could be made. And some grappling in front. Braden Bowman has certainly been energetic today, as he often is. Again, has not played a game for the Golden Knights since John Tortorella took over. Last game he played was the one against the Predators back on March 21st. Knights had 40 shots but lost 4-1. That was 85 days ago, last time that Braden Bowman played a game for the Knights. Since then, 8 regular season and 6 playoff games in the American League. Skating with the Golden Knights in the last few weeks. Back in the lineup for his first career playoff game today, Braden Bowman. Carolina 2, Vegas 0. 13:43 to go in the third period. Knights need 2 goals to keep their season alive. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor, it's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Since 1981, we've been raising every glass, serving on Nevada, making good times last. From wine to whiskey,
beer and more.
at every store.
Lee's Discount Liquor.
Nevada's place to go.
Biggest selection, prices you love.
23 stores across the Silver State.
Serving Nevada
Since 1981.
Lee's Discount Liquor.
Where Nevada celebrates.
America First Credit Union has everything you need to get your money working. And for a limited time, new members get a $150 cash bonus for opening a checking account and $200 more for enrolling in and using direct deposit. If you're ready to do more with your money and get up to $350 cash, head to americafirst.com and become a member today. Subject to membership eligibility, terms, creditworthiness, change, and conditions. Additional requirements may apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Ouch! Checked from behind. Man, that's gotta hurt.
I'd hire Morgan & Morgan if I were them.
What?
Yeah, Dan, America's largest injury law firm. They serve up justice, ice, cold, law. Know what I mean?
I guess.
Their gloves come off when they fight for you.
Okay.
I'm talking a settlement slap shot.
Shouldn't we be talking about the game?
Yeah, Dan, Morgan & Morgan.
Official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Back to the Stanley Cup playoffs with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Knights trail 2-0 in Game 6. They win an offensive zone draw. Left boards, Marner works to the middle and shoots. Blocked. Marner tripped up trying to get to his own rebound. No call. Out goes Jarvis. And at the line, he works around Theodore, gets to the goal. Save Hart. Rebound knocked up the slot. Taken at the point and zipped down to the corner by Slavin. Side of the Vegas goal picked up by Brett Howden. Banks it off to the far boards and Mark Stone. Delays. Turns away from pressure. Now deals left for Theodore. Meanwhile, here comes Theodore into the zone. Howden furious because the stick was slashed out of his hands at the Carolina blue line. The stick still lay inside the Carolina line. And as a result of Howden not having a stick, the Knights couldn't do anything with the transition opportunity. Carolina gets the puck deep. Martinuk lands a hit on the forecheck. Dorothea separates him from the puck. Two Hurricanes collide. On the breakout, Hanifin forward to Barbashev, but play was going to be offside anyway. Eichel was flying the zone, but now an ozone takeaway. Barbashev hands it off, and a shot attempt by Eichel went nowhere. He shanked it, was pressured tightly in the slot by Aho. Carolina gets it to the Vegas line, and Svechnikov dumps it in. Korzak looks left wing as Barbashev turns his way through center, floats it right boards into the zone. Sissons toward the goal, but wide, hoping for a Barbashev tip. Dorothea shoots high and wide right to the right half wall. Korzak swirls it behind the net. Two Knights go to it. Sissons emerges, centering, tried his backhand, blocked by Keandre Miller. Hurricanes clear it out. Hall comes ahead. Hall forced to the sidewall by Lozon. Rim goes behind the Vegas net. Centering pass, side of the goal. Stankoven gets it off the back of the goal. Passes left point. Chatfield rink wide. Nikishin throws it toward the goal, but wide. Stankoven the rebound. Floats it out to the far side, but nobody home for the Hurricanes. Hurdle gets it for the Knights. Put it behind his own goal for Jeremy Lozon. Fires through center. It is just wide of the goal, so it is an icing. 11:40 to go, third period. Hurricanes 2, Golden Knights 0 in Game 6.
Mitch Marner has a chance to get into the scoring area, and Carolina blocks the shot, and then Eichel gets a chance. Carolina gets on his stick. They are making it hard on Vegas right now. They got a 2-goal edge, and it is for them. It is not what you make, it's what you leave.
Hurricanes win the left circle faceoff. Rim around by Carrier, cut off by Korzak behind the Knights' goal. Banks it to Dorofeev in front of his bench. Got it to center. The Hurricanes dump it right back in. Lozon retrieves, pitches it in the air. Got it to Riley Smith. Basket-style reception at the blue line. Backhands it into the right corner. Gives chase. Now Hurdle on the left. Joined by Hanifin. Hanifin wipes out in pursuit of the puck left circle. Hurricanes clear it out. Whistle penalty. Dowd went down at center. And a penalty coming against Carolina with 11:11 to go in the third period of Game 6, and the Knights trailing 2-0. Referee Karen Rank comes to inspect Nick Dowd. And he'll now relay the penalty to us.
Carolina penalty number 50, 2 minutes high sticking.
Shaft of Robinson's stick comes up into the face of Dowd. right in front of the linesman, who had to back himself out of the way to avoid getting a stick in the face himself. So Eric Robinson to the penalty box.
The referees are trying not to call a penalty right now. Rightfully so. It's got to be a for sure penalty at this stage. The Stanley Cup is on the line. This is the right call. Knights will get their third power play of the game. They're 0 for 2 today. The first power play was abbreviated as Hurdle took a penalty for a face-off infraction. Stahl wins the draw against Hurdle. Around the rim it goes. Carolina gets a clear. Knights power play in today's game 0 for 2. In the series, they are 2 for 17. Knights coming ahead right to left. Here's Jack Eichel coming off a 2-point game. Eichel down the right boards, feeds the slot behind Hurdle. Dorothea receives left point. Now to Marner straight on, Saucer's left. Eichel gloves it to his stick. Marner again, bumps it to Hurdle. Across to the right, Dorothea to Marner, taps the left. Eichel shanks the drive. It goes to Stone in the left corner. Stone's pass intercepted by Martin, and he clears the zone. All the way back it goes, and the Hurricanes change personnel. Minute 15 on the Knights power play. Trailing 2-1 with 10:20 to go in the third. They've had so many comeback wins, regular season and postseason. I figure 2-0 is not insurmountable. They just haven't generated very much here on Brandon Bussey. And Bussey has looked extraordinary when he has faced shots here. Howden feeds the middle. Out to the line, here is Marner. Scampers right to the circle. Gets all the way to the goal line. Around behind the goal now, Eichel. Eichel feeds right in the shot. Wide of the goal from Howden. Out to the left point, Eichel holds it in. Eichel standing upright. Zips it low. Went off the heel of Stone's stick and goes behind. Howden up top. Bump from Marner to the left for Eichel. Stripped away. Jarvis couldn't clear. Hurdle tripped up, battle for the puck in the high slot. Everybody goes down. Marner kept it in. Eichel in front. Stone for Eichel, and a save! Whistle. The linesman says the puck out of play with 16 seconds left on the man advantage. Stone and Eichel, deep and all alone, went across the crease twice, and Bussey stayed with it. Extraordinary work from Brandon Bussey, shifting from his left to his right, and Eichel shot it off the crossbar just above the helmet of Bussey. Incredible that Eichel has not scored in this series. He has had some chances, and again, another crossbar for Jack Eichel. Remember, Bussey catches with his right hand. So as Bussey shifts from his left to his right, he is diving glove first at Jack Eichel. And Jack, feeling that pressure, figures he's got to go upstairs. And it's the crossbar. New personnel out here, and it's Bowman to the left goal line, and Anderson looking, centered, knocked down, and cleared by Chatfield. Penalty time expires. Robinson, the birthday boy, heads to his bench. Officially no shots on goal for the Knights power play. There's one big crossbar for Jack Eichel. 2-0. Hurricanes in front with 9 minutes to go. Barbashev comes in left wing. Pushes it down to the left corner. Joined by Sissons. McNabb trying to help out. Taken away Stankoven. And then lifted through center by Ehlers. It'll go down to the right corner, and Blake banking around behind. Taken by Vegas, so it's a turnover on a clearing attempt. Blake shoots, save. Upright stop for Carter Hart. Korzak has the rebound. Trying to go behind his own goal, but runs into a couple of teammates. Sissons fails to clear on the near side. Blake steers it around the boards. Carter Hart stops it behind his net. Knights have the puck as both sides change players. Cole Smith tips it at center, and it goes all the way in. Walker back for Carolina. 2-0 Hurricanes. 8 minutes to go in the third period. Hurricanes have won the last 2 games by scores of 5-3 and 4-2. If they win their third straight, they'd win the Stanley Cup. Robinson, left corner. Fourth line here for Carolina. Robinson, Jankowski, and Carrier. Battle for the puck is along the near boards. Chipped up the wall. Hannafin got it as far as Stone, who bumps it to Anderson. Knocked away from Anderson, and Hannafin's got to go back into his own end. Hannafin from his own blue. Forward to Mitch Marner. He is double-teamed, and he couldn't even get the puck deep. Cut off by Keandre Miller, the third player defending that injury. Hurricanes dump it in. Theodore coming back. Theodore turns away from Svechnikov.
Theodore finds Riley Smith at center. Sets up Brad Howden through the neutral zone. Howden dumps it in. To the near side left wing, Riley Smith. 5 career goals in the Stanley Cup final, including a clincher. From the left wall, Theodore plays it across to the weak side. McNabb pinches in, allowing Hurdle to fill in at the point. Keep it in the zone. Down to Brett Howden, right corner. Feeds the high slot. Theodore shoots just wide. Rebound goes into the corner as McNabb was decked in front. That attempt from out high just missed wide right. Hurricanes dump it in. No icing with 7 minutes to go in the third. 2-0 Carolina. Theodore behind his goal with Jack Eichel. Theodore again finds Marner on the right. Left for Eichel. He kicks it to his stick. Skates through center. Across the line onside. Eichel to the right. Outside boards. Put it in front. Nobody home. And the defenders in front send it to the left side wall. Lozon cuts it off. Marner in the left corner. Behind for Jack Eichel. Eichel again in close quarters with Marner. Hurricanes take it away, and Walker slides it softly out. Hiller's trying to catch up to it. Korzak defending, and somehow the puck ends up on the left boards. Perfect work by Korzak, and then Lozon lands a check as the Knights clear the zone. Whistle for icing. Could have been a penalty first against Korzak, then against Steelers, but appropriately no penalty either way.
Vegas all of a sudden has some urgency and some opportunities. Desperation, obviously, riding high. Jordan Martinook is getting his wrist tape up on the bench. Ehlers is bent over. He's injured.
Knights win the defensive zone draw, courtesy Colton Sissons. Vegas clears it out. Sissons trying to get it ahead alongside Barbashev. They'll lose the puck as Blake goes down at his own blue. Carolina sends it in on goal, so no icing. 6 minutes to go, third period, game 6. Golden Knights trail 2-0, and they need 2 goals to keep their season alive. Hurricanes send it in toward the far corner. Taylor Hall in pursuit. Golden Knights have not suffered a playoff shutout since the final game of last postseason against the Edmonton Oilers. That was the Kapanen overtime winner to end the season for the Golden Knights. 1-0 final. Dorofeev trying to get the puck to the Knights on the far boards. Howden with Dorofeev. They get the puck out. Howden works up to the blue and across the line. Handoff. Barbashev left. Dorofeev shoots, save. Bussey collects the rebound. A little bit of extracurricular activity in front. Pavel Dorofeev leading the Golden Knights with 5 shots on goal. With that one right there from the left dot. Bussey made the save, spilled the rebound, but on top of it quickly before any of the Golden Knights could get to it. Howden was closest to it. Timeout with 5:16 to go in the third period of Game 6. Hurricanes lead the game 2-0, and they lead the series 3-2. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor, it's the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you. But we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Hi, I'm attorney Adam Kuttner. I grew up playing hockey. To win in hockey, you have to be aggressive, you have to work hard, and you have to have a great team. And it's no different when I'm representing my clients in their personal injury cases. My team and I work hard to get you the maximum settlement as quickly as possible, because winning is everything.
If you've been injured in an accident, ask attorney Adam Kuttner, 702-382-0000. That's 382-0000.
Hey Vegas, hungry for game day? Nacho Daddy, proud sponsor of your Vegas Golden Knights, has you covered with winning specials. Suit up for the return of the Golden Knight Nachos, stacked with marinated filet mignon, gooey cheese, and all the fixins. And here's the power play. Show us your game day ticket and your first Daddy's Margarita is on us. Celebrate 9 seasons of Vegas-born greatness with Nacho Daddy. Never a dry chip, always a great time. Visit us after the game and unite the realm. Must be 21 or older for margaritas. Please drink responsibly. Back to the Fortress for more Stanley Cup playoff action.
18,354 in attendance for Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Plenty of Golden Knights supporters, of course, and plenty of Hurricanes fans have made the trek hoping to witness the second Stanley Cup championship in franchise history. They're 5 minutes and 16 seconds away. Offensive zone draw for the Knights. Jack Eichel will take the draw on the left wing side. Eichel with 4 assists in the final, including 2 helpers last game. There's 2 goals in the playoffs overall compared to 20 assists. Carolina gets the draw and an airborne clear. McNabb at his own blue there, pressured by Jarvis. Puck back to Theodore. Ahead for Eichel on the near side. Lefty dumps it in. Around to Mitch Marner. It bounces by Marner. Booted along by McNabb, but the Hurricanes defending the house. Clear it quickly. It'll go down for an icing. 4:53 to go, third period. And a 2-0 Hurricanes lead. Taylor Hall at 3:47 of the first from Slavin and Blake. Then Jackson Blake at 13:31 of the second from Logan Stankoven. As Blake's shot went off the shaft of Mitch Marner's stick. Hit inside the right post by Carter Hart.
Vegas goes to 4 forwards and Shea Theodore.
Carter Hart stays in the net, so it's not an empty net situation, but loading up at this stage. Vegas wins the draw. Eichel for Stone curling. Theodore right, Marner shoots. Save. Might have hit somebody in front before it got to Bussey, who ended up in a seated position. Eichel for Marner. Threw it across. Loose in front. Off of Stone, but Eichel couldn't reach the loose puck. It's cleared out by the Hurricanes. Theodore back with Marner at their own blue. 4:30 to go. Lead pass goes to Hurdle. He breaks. He looks back for Marner, calling for it. Back to the left. Hurdle couldn't get a shot away, and then it's chipped out to center. And the fans getting antsy here because they would love to see their players at least attempt to shoot a little bit more. Vegas ahead right to left. Theodore whistled for icing, hoping that Vegas could win the race, but Chatfield there ahead of Brett Howden. Well, the goaltender is as good as Brandon Bussey has been. The skaters are forced to overthink, trying to make the perfect play. As Mitch Marner, as he eyed the net, made a pass that went right into the shaft of the stick of a defending Hurricane who had sprawled on the ice. Ozone draw for Aho against Hurdle. Hurricanes lead at 2-0 with 4:10 to go in the third period. Hurdle wings it to the corner. Marner is there. Marner finds Brett Howden. Skates to center. Howden up to the blue. Onside. Leaves it for a shot. Barbashev denied on the blocker. The goaltender Brandon Bussey. From the right boards. Dorofeev crossing with Barbashev. Howden goes to help behind the net. Howden leading the playoffs with 14 goals. Feeds Anderson. Back for Howden. Coming out high. Howden turns and shoots. Blocked by Chatfield. Dorofeev shoots the rebound. And a pad save from Brandon Bussey. Rimmerau cut off by Dorofeev, but it came hard off his stick and out. Hanifin, one hand on his stick, poked it away from Aho. Dorofeev backs it up for Hanifin. 3:30 to go in the third of Game 6. Stanley Cup Final. Hurricanes lead the game 2-0. Hanifin in his own end. Plays it out for Taylor Hall, intercepting. And the Hurricanes dump it back in. Theodore retreats behind his net with Hanifin. Scanning center. Hanifin with Theodore again. Stankoven applies pressure. Hanifin got it away to Jack Eichel. Skating ahead through the logo. Eichel works in. Drops it off on the right. Stone toward Theodore. Pressured in the slot. Theodore gets it back. He's centered. Trickling at the goal mouth. Loose puck. Goes behind. Stone from the trapezoid out to the point. Hurdle. He shoots. Blocked. Carter Hart has gone to the bench for a 6th attacker as Theodore knocks down a clearing attempt by Blake. Back at his own blue. Theodore with Marner. Hurdle trying to skate through his center. He loses the puck as several Hurricanes reached in. Ehlers whacks it forward. Eichel coming back to his own blue. Knights trailing 2-0 with 2:30 to go in the third period. Knights get a bouncer in on Bussey, who shields it away to the right wing. Stone to the middle and a shot. Save. Rebound. Another save. Hurdle stopped by a seated Bussey. And the whistle stops play with 2:21 to go. And Hurdle over at his haunches in stunned disbelief. Point blank opportunity twice. And Bussey holds his ground and makes a second save while he's on his rear end.
Brandon Bussey entered the Stanley Cup Final And Vegas took a lead in the series, and now he's rattled off 2 straight, and he's looking for his third. He has been brilliant.
22 saves on 22 shots for Brandon Bussey in a potential clinching game. 2:21 left in the third period. Hurricanes lead 2-0. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Reliable service and a brand you can trust. Visit OneStopRoofShop.com. Commercial or home, we can do what you need. Helping build this community. Big or small, there's nothing we can't do. We're the most preferred roofer and we're here for you. Reliable service and a brand you can trust. Visit OneStopRoofShop.com.
Since 1981, we've been raising every glass. Serving all Nevada, making good times last. From wine to whiskey,
Beer and more.
find your favorites at every store.
Lee's Discount Liquor.
Nevada's place to go.
Biggest selection, prices you love.
23 stores across the Silver State.
Serving Nevada.
Since 1981,
Lee's Discount Liquor.
where Nevada celebrates.
Hey Vegas, hungry for game day? Nacho Daddy, proud sponsor of your Vegas Golden Knights, has you covered with winning specials. Suit up for the return of the Golden Knight Nachos, stacked with marinated filet mignon, gooey cheese, and all the fixins. And here's the power play. Show us your game day ticket and your first Daddy's Margarita is on us. Celebrate 9 seasons of Vegas-born greatness with Nacho Daddy. Never a dry chip, always a great time. Visit us after the game and unite the realm. Must be 21 or older for margaritas. Please drink responsibly. Let's get back to Dan Duva and Gary Lawless for more Stanley Cup Finals action.
Hurricanes 2 minutes and 21 seconds away from a Stanley Cup. Vegas has its goaltender on the bench for a 6th attacker. Hurricanes get the puck from their own zone. They enter offside on a stretch pass. And so they'll bring the draw back to the Carolina end. Brandon Bussey, including tonight, has made 81 saves on 87 shots. The only time he lost was the double overtime game. Relieved the starter Freddie Anderson for the third period, made 18 saves in a row, but then was beaten on the night's 19-shot Theodore in double overtime. Since then, he's won a couple of games and a .931 save percentage in the playoffs. Knights win the draw on the left. 6-on-5 attack for the Knights. Theodore got it to Stone in the corner. Eichel at the left wall. The Theodore one-timer wide. Might have been hoping for a tip from Hurdle. Dorofeev keeps it alive on the right boards. At the right goal line, it's Tomas Hurdle. Back to right, Marner centered. Swing and a miss by Stone. Eichel in front. Stone stopped on the doorstep. Chatfield and Bussey combined to present Mark Stone with no room. Eichel on the left. Fires it low. Marner in front. Swing and a miss. And another try. Waffles across to the left wing. Minute 40 to go. Marner from the left corner. Throws in behind. Righty. Takes one way, goes the other. Left corner. Sends it up top. Theodore Wright. One-timer save. Blocked actually by Chatfield on the drive by Dorofeev. Right circle. Hurricanes send it down. It'll be an icing. Boy, how about that pass from Eichel? He basically sent a slap shot to Mitch Marner. Almost as if he thought, I'm going to shoot, but then at the last moment decided to pass, but put the velocity on it as if it was a shot, and it went to Marner at the bottom of the left circle, but Marner couldn't handle it.
Eichel threaded a pass through
Vegas 30-second timeout.
Through the crease to Mark Stone, and Mark missed it and went off of Chatfield behind him. And now Brandon Bussey has the Carolina Hurricanes a minute and 25 away from winning a Stanley Cup. Conn Smythe Trophy will be being voted. It has been voted on by now. I guess as it goes to Jordan Stahl, but I'll tell you what, Brandon Bussey has had a massive impact. He didn't play at all in the playoffs barely until this series, but he changed the series.
It is important to underscore that the Conn Smythe is the playoffs MVP, not the Stanley Cup Final MVP. So as good as Bussey has been here in this series, I can't imagine he'd be considered for the Conn Smythe if he only played 3 games. But it would be a 3-game win streak. The Knights have not suffered 3 consecutive losses since John Tortorella took over. Still a minute 25 to go. Knights need 2 to tie.
Wouldn't that be something?
Tomas Hertl will take the draw against Jordan Stahl, who won the cup with the Penguins 17 years ago. He wins the draw, puck around it. Hurricanes do clear. Theodore cuts it off at his own blue, sends it left. Knights tag up. No, they did not tag up.
Stone wasn't out yet. Nyquil went in.
Yep, just a little over anxious there. So that stops play and brings the draw to the neutral zone with a minute 13 to go. And we'll see, is Carter Hart going to go back toward his net or no? The Knights on the ice have been out there for an extended period. There was the Vegas timeout, but even that can only do so much to get wind back into these top-end players who've had a lot of ice time as they have trailed the whole night. Theodore, first player to suppress 23 minutes for Vegas today. Hertl wins the draw. Theodore in his own blue. Pass to Dorofeev, intercepted, and Iller scores into the empty goal. And it's 3-0 Hurricanes with 1:08 to go in the third. Nikolai Ehlers with his 4th goal of the Stanley Cup Final makes it a 3-0 lead for the visitors. And now just a minute and 8 seconds away from lifting Lord Stanley's Cup. Ehlers smiling from ear to ear as he heads back to his bench. Ehlers has faced the Golden Knights in the playoffs twice before, unsuccessfully as a Winnipeg Jet, but he's had a big mark on this series. Now 9 points in the Stanley Cup Final. One more than Mitch Marner. And with this 3-0 lead, some fans have decided to file out of the fortress. Ensuing draw has the Hurricanes in possession of the puck. And it's an onside play for the Knights with a minute to go. Anderson shoots it over the goal. The Hurricanes fans in attendance have come to their feet. And we'll see something that has not happened in 20 years. Hurricanes use the near boards. It'll go down to the Vegas zone. No icing. Carter Hart back in his goal with the Hurricanes up by 3. The long and winding road for the Golden Knights comes up 2 wins shy here in 2026. The Hurricanes, who have not been in the Cup Final since they won it 20 years ago, are going to secure the 2nd Stanley Cup championship in their franchise's history. Lifted out by Noah Hannafin, who was drafted in the first round by the Hurricanes back in 2015. Knights get the puck at center. It's dumped in with 10 seconds to go. On the Carolina bench, they are embracing, jumping, and hugging one another as the clock runs out on 2026. The Stanley Cup championship goes to the Carolina Hurricanes. They defeat the Golden Knights in shutout fashion, 3-0. Brandon Bussey earns the shutout in his 3rd straight win. And the Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup for the 2nd time in franchise history. They win the series in 6 games. After they lost game 1 and trailed 2-1 in the series, they win 3 in a row by scores of 5-3, 4-2, and in the clincher, 3-0. The Carolina Hurricanes have won the 2026 Stanley Cup Championship. Rod Brind'Amour, who captained this franchise to its first cup 20 years ago, now has coached them to the Stanley Cup Championship. He becomes the 7th person in NHL history to get the cup with the same franchise as both a player and a coach, and the first to do it since 1956 when Toe Blake did it. There's Ahmad back behind the Carolina goal as every skater is out there appropriately embracing goaltender Brandon Bussey, who won 31 times out of 39 games in the regular season, but made his Stanley Cup playoffs debut in Game 4. And the chant from the Carolina visitors is for Brandon Bussey, the rookie from the North Shore of Long Island out of Western Michigan University. Goes 3-1 in his 4 Stanley Cup final appearances and a shutout, just his 3rd NHL shutout, and it comes in the Stanley Cup final clincher. It's a final in Game 6. The Hurricanes 3 and the Golden Knights 0. Carolina wins the Stanley Cup for the first time in 20 years.
They are the champions. They have earned it. They beat a very good Golden Knights team 3 games in a row. They were stronger in this game, quicker to the puck. They won more battles. They scored the goals. Bussy was incredible. And the Golden Knights, a season that was on the brink. Late in March, Kelly McCrimmon fired Bruce Cassidy, brought aboard John Tortorella, and they got all the way 2 games shy of winning the Stanley Cup, and now the handshake line has started.
The handshakes begin, led, of course, by Captain Mark Stone. And on the Carolina side, see Jordan Martin leading it for the Hurricanes, and just a handful of players behind him is the captain, Jordan Staal, who did not find the score sheet today. However, Staal did score 6 times in this series. He scored a goal in each of the first 5 games of this series, after he had just 2 in the entire postseason. He finishes the playoffs with 8. And no doubt, Jordan Staal, a long wait for his second Stanley Cup, 17 years since he hoisted it with the Penguins back in 2009. It sets a new NHL record for time between Stanley Cup championships. Jordan Staal, all the way back then, 20 years old, had been drafted 2nd overall by the Penguins in 06, won the Cup in 09. And now he does it here again with the Carolina Hurricanes. Second franchise he's known. 431 games over 6 years with Pittsburgh and nearly 1,000 games with the Hurricanes. And Jordan Staal captains Carolina to a Stanley Cup, just like his head coach did, Rod Brind'Amour, back in 2006. Took him 7 games back in 2006 against the Oilers. They do it in 6 games against the Golden Knights in 2026.
William Carrier is the most popular guy in the line. All the Golden Knights giving him hugs. He left Vegas, free agent deal, 6-year deal with the Hurricanes, and he wins his 2nd Stanley Cup. Freddie Anderson is on the ice, Dan, in his equipment, as are some of the other scratches, and Freddie's getting a lot of hugs as well. He lost his friend, his mentor, and his agent, Claude Lemieux, to suicide just on the eve of this series. Valiantly played a few games early, and then after Lemieux's funeral last Monday, was unable to return. Now the Golden Knights lift their sticks.
The Hurricane celebration will continue, but one last stand for the Golden Knights to recognize the Fortress faithful. It turned out in great number throughout this season, of course, in particular during the Stanley Cup playoffs. They watched their players head off for the final time here in their 104th game of the season. They finished the regular campaign at 39, 26, and 17. First in the division, 4th in the conference, and 13th in the league. 579, they technically had more losses than they had wins, but in the Pacific Division, it was enough for a championship, and had an impressive first-round victory against the Utah Mammoth, and a hard-fought second-round series against the Anaheim Ducks, won both of those series in 6 games, and then highly unlikely sweep of the Colorado Avalanche, President's Trophy winners in the Western Conference Final. And they took leads of 1-0 and 2-1 in the Stanley Cup Final, bidding for their 2nd championship in 4 seasons. And Brandon Bussy entered the conversation, won 3 in a row. And the Hurricanes win games 4, 5, and 6 to win the Stanley Cup. And as the celebrations continue on the Carolina side, the operations folks here at T-Mobile Arena begin to set out the black carpet and the net with the 2026 logo, with the image of the Stanley Cup to either side. We will have the presentation of the Stanley Cup here at T-Mobile Arena in just a few moments. Knights have reached the Stanley Cup Final 3 times in their history, and well, they have 1 championship and 2 losses. All 3 trips to the final. The champion has been crowned in this arena. 2018, the Capitals. 23, the Golden Knights. And now in 26, the Carolina Hurricanes.
And the Hurricanes organization flew all of their staff and all of their families, and they're doing the storm surge at center ice in T-Mobile Arena. They're the champions. They have earned the right to do what they want. They're out on the ice last. And they're now right on the Golden Knights logo at center ice. They are embracing as a team. And pretty soon here we'll get Gary Bettman out on the ice. The Conn Smythe Trophy will come first, and then the Stanley Cup. And they might both be going to the same guy. Hurricanes captain Jordan Staal didn't have any points today, I don't believe, Dan. I think he finishes with 8 goals and 4 assists for 12 points. 6 of those goals come in this series.
Today, the 181st career playoff game for Jordan Staal. Goals in each of the first 5 games of the series, 6 in total. 8 in the playoffs. 1 of those 8 a game winner. And logging an average of 18 minutes per game over the course of this postseason for the 37-year-old Jordan Staal. Hurricanes had the best record in the Eastern Conference during the regular season. They won the Metro Division. And in the first round, they swept the Ottawa Senators in 4 games. 1 of those went to double overtime. In the second round, they swept the Philadelphia Flyers. 2 of those 4 games went to overtime. They finally lost a game in this third round, the Eastern Conference final, and a long layoff between the second and third round, and Montreal took advantage, winning the first game 6-2. But the Hurricanes then took games 2 and 3 in overtime, and then wins of 4-0 and 6-1 to close out Montreal, clinch the Eastern Conference Championship, and move on here to the final. And for the first time, they trailed a series twice. They trailed 1-0 and 2-1. But they win 3 in a row against the Golden Knights, somewhat reminiscent of how the Golden Knights in 2018 took Game 1 against the Capitals, but then suffered the franchise's first ever 4-game losing streak. And, of course, that was Game 5 here at T-Mobile Arena on June 7th, 2018. And now here on June 14th, 2026, the Carolina Hurricanes win 3 in a row and defeat the Golden Knights to win the Stanley Cup Championship. Again, the final in Game 6, Hurricanes 3 and the Knights nothing. Vegas concludes its 9th season with a playoff record of 14-8, 2 wins shy of a championship. And they'll embark on their 10th season, hungry for another visit to the Stanley Cup final. And their seasons following a trip to the final, they have come up with first-round exits in 7 games. 2019 against the San Jose Sharks, and in 2024 against the Dallas Stars. No guarantee that as you get to the final one year, you'll get to it the next year. Florida Panthers got there 3 years in a row, lost 1 and then won 2. Oilers got there 2 years in a row, but lost both times. Tampa Bay Lightning got there 3 years in a row, won twice and then lost once. But to reach the Stanley Cup final, forget about winning it, just to get there is an incredible achievement. The Knights have done that 3 times in their 9 seasons. They come up short here against Carolina. The Hurricanes have played 235 games as a franchise in the playoffs, including the Hartford Whalers. They have now 122 wins over the course of 43 series. They're just barely above Hockey 500 in terms of their wins and losses in Stanley Cup playoffs. They've been around that long. 20 years since they reached the final. And Rod Brind'Amour has been the head coach for 8 seasons now. And they have reached the Stanley Cup playoffs in each of those 8 seasons. Got to the conference final 3 times prior to this year, but were swept twice, had just 1 win against 12 losses in the conference final under Rod Brind'Amour over the last 7 years. But as I just outlined, this year's conference final, a different story. They trailed 1-0, but then won 4 in a row. Get to the Stanley Cup final for the first time in 20 years, and they defeat the Golden Knights in 6 games. And the chant here from the Carolina fans is for Brandon Bussey, who again is a hero for this franchise to get them over the hump. Freddie Anderson took them 16 games, a record of 13-2, but exited in that fourth game of the series. Bussey came on and lost in double overtime, but is 3-0 in his 3 starts. Bussey helps the Carolina Hurricanes get across the finish line. Bussey won 31 out of 39 starts in the regular season as a rookie, as Anderson won 16 out of 35. And now the chant here is for Freddie. That's Freddie Anderson. The Conn Smythe Trophy has been presented, and we will find out momentarily who will be the winner of this year's Conn Smythe Trophy. Of course, it belongs to the MVP of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Not the Stanley Cup final, the MVP of the playoffs, as voted on by the attending media. Conn Smythe has made an appearance, but we have not seen the commissioner until just now as he walks out. Let's listen in.
The Conn Smythe Trophy to the most valuable player of the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs.
To Carolina and Vegas on a terrific Stanley Cup final. And Vegas, 3 trips to the Stanley Cup final in 9 years is something to be proud of. The Conn Smythe Trophy is awarded to the most valuable player in the playoffs. This year's recipient has played for the Carolina Hurricanes longer than any other player. He tied a record for a goal-scoring streak in the final, and his face-off percentage win of almost 70% almost actually sets a record. And finally, Jordan Staal, you are the oldest player to win the Conn Smythe Trophy.
Jordan Staal lifts his right hand, looks back to his teammates, and skates over to the commissioner, shakes his hand, pats the commissioner on his right shoulder, and now Gary Bettman lifts the Conn Smythe and hands it to 37-year-old Jordan Staal, playing his 20th professional season. Traded to the Hurricanes on June 22nd, 2012. And he skates it toward his teammates, and he will deliver it to his bench. And he wants to hand it off to somebody as quick as he can so he can hoist the trophy that he really wants. Staal has his cap on backwards, some of his dark blonde hair poking through the front of the cap. And with the big beard, he's fighting back a smile as he takes a deep breath. Gets a pat on the shoulder from Taylor Hall, who's not that much younger, 34 years old.
The Stanley Cup.
The Stanley Cup is brought onto the ice at T-Mobile Arena following a championship for the 3rd time in 9 years. Hockey Hall of Fame takes excellent care of the most special trophy in all of sports. It tours all over the United States, North America, and around the world. And wherever it's brought, it is met with grand smiles, but no more grand than what we'll see in a moment.
Over the last 8 seasons, no team has won more regular season and playoff games than the Carolina Hurricanes. That is a testament to great players and a great organization. Congratulations to Tom Dundon, Eric Tulsky, Rod Brindamore, and again, these magnificent players. But what that also tells you, that no matter how good you are as a team, this iconic trophy, the Stanley Cup, is the most difficult in all sports to win. Jordan Staal, come on back up.
Stahl can't fight back the smile any longer. Another shake of the hand with the commissioner. And now 37-year-old Jordan Stahl puts his hand on the Stanley Cup. Holds it alongside Gary Bettman, posing for photographs. The sparklers fire behind him and beside him. And now Jordan Stahl will bring it to his Hurricanes teammates. Barking at them from his knees. Now he hoists it over his head and exclaims to the crowd. The Carolina Hurricanes have won the 2026 Stanley Cup Championship. A feeling he's not experienced for 17 years. The longest break between championships for an NHL player. A feeling no one else has ever had before. And the first handoff to Freddie Anderson. 13-2 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Anderson, the 36-year-old from Denmark. An incredible and emotional role through this postseason. And he hands it off quickly to Taylor Hall. Former MVP, 34-year-old, lifts the Stanley Cup for the first time. Gives it a big smooch in the top rung and goes for a little stroll with it. You can imagine, as much as they want to celebrate with the cup lifted to the Raptors, they're just as eager to hand it off to their teammates. And the next one to lift it is Sebastian Aho. Aho finished the postseason with 12 points, and 5 of those points coming here in the Stanley Cup Final, including 3 game-winning goals. Aho, the top-line center, hands it off next to Jacob Slavin, who has experienced the incredible year of a gold medal with Team USA, and now a Stanley Cup championship in the NHL. Who's had a better year than him? Jacob Slavin, as he holds the cup over his head, gets embraced by Jordan Martinook. As Martinook skates it around and pumps it several times into the air, gives it a big kiss. Jordan Martinook had played more of a depth role on this team over the course of these playoff games. Nearly 800 games in his career. 33-year-old from Brandon, Manitoba, Jordan Martinook moved to the top line here in recent games. And now he gives it to Shane Gostisbehere, the Floridian, who has bounced around in his career. National champion in 2014 at Union College, and now he's a Stanley Cup champion with the Carolina Hurricanes. So as the handing of the Stanley Cup continues, William Carrier is the next to receive it. He's done it before and receives the loudest ovation of any of these players because he's saluted by those in red and gold alike. Second Stanley Cup championship for William Carrier, and both times he's won it here at T-Mobile Arena. Well, Gary, the celebration continues for the Carolina Hurricanes as the Golden Knights, of course, will now have to wrap their minds around what happened here in 2026. A remarkable turnabout. Who would have thought that the way things were going down the stretch that this team would have a deep playoff run, let alone come to within 2 wins of a championship, but that's exactly what happened.
The first order of business will be to figure out who the head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights is going to be for next season. John Tortorella did an admirable job getting the team to this point. Kelly McCrimmon and John have not talked about the future as far as we know. They agreed that they would go down this path and see what happens, and they got very far. Farther than I believe anyone expected them to, and it was a master stroke of management by McCrimmon to make the decision, to have the courage of his convictions, and to part ways with Bruce Cassidy. But now the future must be looked at, and is Tortorella the right guy to lead this team marching forward? Rasmus Andersson is a pending unrestricted free agent. McCrimmon and his new representatives, Rasmus was previously represented by Claude Lemieux. They'll have to figure out if they're going to move forward. And of course, Pavel Dorofeev is a restricted free agent, and that is among priority, right near the top of the priority list for the Golden Knights. Lots of work for Kelly McCrimmon and his staff to do, and it'll take a couple days, I would imagine, to lick their wounds after this. No one is as competitive as Kelly McCrimmon. This will sting. Him and George McPhee have, it's been incredible that they've been to 3 Stanley Cups, but they don't get to these Stanley Cups to lose. They get here to win, and this will be, for the players, management, everyone in the organization. This is a very disappointing moment.
Well, the Knights experienced an incredible inaugural season of 2018, and then shocked the hockey world getting to the Stanley Cup final in their inaugural season and winning the first game, then suffering 4 losses in a row to the Capitals, who won their first Stanley Cup championship. And of course, Gary, that set things off in a trajectory that I don't think George McPhee, Kelly McCrimmon, and Bill Foley imagined. When going into that inaugural season, you thought they'd be trading some of their star players away for future assets. That's not what happened. And of course, the organization had to do the right thing for the players who had achieved so much, and that was to build up the roster rather than ship players away. And though the Knights lost in playoffs in first round of 2019, they reached the third round of the playoffs in both 2020 and 2021. They missed it for the first time in 2022, but then in 2023 under the new head coach Bruce Cassidy, they won it all. Following year in 2024, knocked out the 7-game series against the Dallas Stars, and then in 2025 beat Minnesota in the first round but lost to the division rival Oilers in the second round. The Oilers reached the Cup final for the second year in a row, and now here are the Knights back in the Stanley Cup final for the third time in 9 seasons. But with all of the success that this team continues to put out, more games and more wins in the playoffs than any franchise since they entered the league. They just continue to set a higher and higher bar. All the more difficult for the team to live up to that increasingly higher standard. John Tortorella managed to get the Knights within 2 wins. He was trying to do what Larry Robinson did back in 2000 with the Devils, take over a team with just 8 games remaining in the regular season and lead that team to a championship. Tortorella almost did it here after he took over with 8 games left in the regular season. Tortorella finishes the year with a record of 21-8-1. Regular season was 7-0-1, and now 14-8 in the playoffs. So 21-8-1 for John Tortorella, taking over for Bruce Cassidy back on March 29th. And as Gary described a few moments ago, it'll be interesting to see how the Golden Knights organization handles John Tortorella's future. Again, he was brought in. And of course, there were hopes that he would get to this point, but as Gary talked about, not sure what the future might hold for the 67-year-old who was an assistant on Team USA. Would he, in fact, continue with the Golden Knights after this season? Now the handoff from Kochetkov to Rod Brind'Amour, who flips the cup in the air and then gives it a bear hug. And for the second time in 20 years, Rod Brind'Amour lifts the Stanley Cup and exclaims he's already done some interviews here while he's allowed his players to celebrate the championship. And they all just look around and watch Rod Brind'Amour celebrate and now he hands it off to the rest of the staff. Rod Brind'Amour again does something only a few other people have done. Win the Stanley Cup as a player and then as a coach with the same franchise. 7th player to do it in NHL history and the first since 1956.
Jeff Daniels, who has been a farmhand with the organization for a long time. Tim Gleason, former player with the Hurricanes. And now Tom Dundon, the owner, gets his moment. He's wearing a tracksuit. He does things his own way. It's the best way to describe it. And there's Eric Tulsky, who is the assistant GM under Don Waddell and has done a great job bringing in excellent players and finishing the job here.
Hurricanes win it 3-0 in Game 6. win the Stanley Cup in 6 games. And their second championship in 20 years. They got to the finals and lost in 2002. Got to the finals and won it in 2006. And now here 20 years later, they had not even been to the final since they won it in 2006. And here they win it all. And they make themselves 2-time Stanley Cup champions. Only a handful of franchises have multiple Stanley Cups. And now the Whalers/Hurricanes can call themselves 2-time winners of the best trophy in sports. Well, Gary, we'll put a bow on things here. We've got plenty to get to with the post-game show, and Ryan Wallace will, of course, have highlights. And we'll hear a post-game press conference and eventually phone calls on our extended post-game show. But this does wrap up the 104th broadcast for us this year. That includes regular season, postseason, throw in another 7 preseason games. And it wraps up the 9th year of our broadcast together on the Vegas Golden Knights radio network. It continues to be a wild ride, and we appreciate so much all of those listeners who spend so many nights with us from all time zones and all over the world that tune in to follow the Vegas Golden Knights through our descriptions and discussions. It's been a fantastic ride with you once again.
Absolutely, and you understand that fans will be disappointed tonight, and that's part of what you do. You put your heart into this, just like the players and the coaches and the entire organization. I'd rather lose tonight than lose earlier. This has been a great ride, a lot of fantastic moments. You'd like to see. We prefer to have seen the team won, but this was a very good hockey team. It achieved, anytime you win a trophy, and they did, they won the Camel Bowl. Anytime you do that, it is a massive accomplishment. And didn't get over the hump, but this team is set up to be very competitive next year. Players like Braden Bowman and Trevor Connolly going to push for work with the organization next year. Kelly McCrimmon, in my view, is the best general manager in hockey. He is relentless. He will not stop. And while you can never say we'll be here again, I would expect that we will be here again. And you hopefully that time the team gets it done and wins the last game. Unfortunately, that's not the way it worked out this season.